should be now. Oh. The hell is that? You hear that?
Freaking no. I don't.
It's on because it's on mine.
Okay, now I'm seeing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Brian or Zach's on. Nevada's on.
Nevada. Hey Zach, how we doing? Nevada, what's going on? Curtis, you got beat. You got caught stuff in your face, man. Oh. Yeah, I saw the Nevada. I saw that you bought something to do with Tesla. I didn't know if you bought a Tesla or what it was. Did you actually buy the car? Which model did you buy? Man, I am so on the fence with those Teslas or any of the electric cars. I think they're good for what they're doing. But I've just heard the goddamn nightmares about repairing them and trying to get them fixed. God forbid, knock on wood. I hope you don't have any problems, Kyle. But if you get them fucked or something happens, and let's face it, they're 95% computer and chip and sensor and just like your Peterbilt, for Christ's sake. And if something goes wrong with the fucking thing, it's a warranted vehicle, but I've heard nightmares. Trucker Gaines, seeing you around. Glad you're here, brother. Jesus. Yeah, the battery on it. Well, some of the older ones, again, I can't speak personally. I don't know anybody that owns a Tesla. You're the first one. And it was like $21,000 or something to replace a battery. And the retail on the car was only about 25 grand. Man, that is not cheap. That is not cheap. It's got 6,000 miles on it. It's not bad. Okay, let's see how long it takes you to get from your place in Las Vegas to get up to my place here in an electric car. That I want to see. Funny thing is, you're gonna charge it, and the charging stations obviously produce electricity, but the power they come from are coming from coal generating stations.
Did you see his comment that they installed solar at the house?
No, I didn't.
Tesla installed solar at his house.
So so you've bought, okay. So you've bought the Tesla car and you've got Tesla solar on the house? Jesus. What's next? You gonna put solar panels up the hood of the 389? Sorry if my birds and my wildlife are disturbing. Did they throw the car in with the solar? For what you probably paid for the solar, they better have thrown the car in, bro. Susan, good to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, trucker, they got them all. They got them here. I don't know where you are, bro, but I'm in eastern Canada, not too far north, but we got them here. We got them charging stations, and they're they're adaptable. They, you know, they'll charge a Toyota, a Tesla, a GM, whatever it is. Although I don't know what it cost. I tried to walk up to one of the charging stations the other day just to get a cost to see how you pay or what you pay or whatever like that. I don't know how, what was it, like $2 or $5 for however long? I don't know how they work. What's going on with my camera? Here we go. Hold on. There's the shit. There we go.
Lots of people saying hello. And you mentioned Flack.
Mention what? Oh, you like my flag, eh? See a couple of guys. Here in Eastern Virginia, Trucker, yeah. Trucker Gaines, where have I seen you? I think you pipe in on Best now and then. I think I've seen you on Nevada. I've seen you around. There are card readers on them. So, okay, so what? It's just like a debit card. You walk up with your debit card, you put it in, and they ask you how much time you want. You like that, eh? I don't know how much shit I can get in for putting that up there. I don't know if I can get shit at all, but what the fuck, we're going to put it up. Yeah, that's right, Susan. It's absolutely right. At least in Canada, right? If you're charging an electric car up here, chances are really, really good that that charging station is drawing its electricity from a coal facility, burning facility. Yeah. Oh. North American infrastructure cannot handle solar stations every square block like gas stations. No, they can't. Dude, we don't have the population or the infrastructure, like you said, to do that.
Your sound's off.
My sound is off. I don't know.
Maybe you should put your earbuds in.
I don't have my earbuds.
Oh.
Check your sound. Just go stand over there and turn your sound on and see what it sounds like. Susan, Sandra, this is a good one. Again, I got bailed out by my son-in-law. I had to go raid his stash. This is a Rocky Patel. It's a vintage 1990. If you want to know what that sound was, that was Dar. She just came walking across the deck and she just stubbed her toe. You notice the camera and the table shake? She just smashed her. She's over there trying not to cry. You all right, babe? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. First, she grabs her wine.
This is so good.
All right, sound is all right. So, Zach, it's probably your phone. Need to buy a new phone, bro.
That was Greg, not Zach.
No.
Yeah.
Zach, Brian, your Audi is a bit cracky on my end. I don't know about your mic.
Greg said it too.
Well, you guys both need to get new phones. Wow. So did any of you guys see? I'm not a big TikToker. Okay, I'm not. It's not something I do. Hey Tony. But I put up a couple of videos. It's just something we've been doing lately. It's not a big deal. And I put up a video of me, and I was already shooting something else, and this happened in the middle of the other shoot. So we just edited it out. We threw it up on TikTok. I didn't think anything of it. It was just some guy came along and cut me off. Or didn't cut me off, but I thought maybe that You know, he didn't give me enough room. It was about 8 or 9 feet. He came over a little too soon, and I just made a comment and threw it up there. And I got lambasted. I got absolutely fucking smoked. The people were just killing me, telling me that, you know, I should learn to drive and everything's fine, and I should have slowed down, and I should have given him the right of way. And I mean, Jesus H Christ, man, I heard everything of what I should have done, you know, to let this guy pass me and then pull in. So I went over on TikTok today, put up another TikTok inviting them to come over here. So in a little while, we're going to maybe throw the link up and give anybody a chance who's seen that video.
It might just be your voice cracking.
Give anybody a chance to seen that video. If you want to pipe in about that video or what your opinion is, knock yourselves out. I'll sit here and listen to anything that anybody wants to say if they've seen the video, or if you've made the comment, or if you're one of those guys that made a comment on the video. I'll be happy to sit and listen to you. You're welcome to voice your opinion, even if it's wrong. You're welcome to say what you want. So I'll give it a little bit here. We'll wait a bit and see what happens, and see if anybody wants to pipe in. Whatever. I think that's Robin's opinion right there. There you go. That's Robin's opinion. He's thinking on that. You know what, Robert? I have a feeling that it was me. It was me. Maybe it was me. Dar just said maybe not talk so loud. So maybe I've just shut my big mouth down a bit and just brought it down a few octaves. Maybe it's me. Zach, how is it now? I was watching Curtis on Best this afternoon, or a couple hours ago, and he was sitting out there with no shirt on playing with his nipples, and now my nipples are itchy. This is Curtis' fault. Well, look, I'm sitting here. I got it real.
I miss him playing with his nipples.
Dar missed you playing with your nipples, Curtis. You need to come on and play with your nipples. Curtis is trying to get on Best calendar for the man boobs. Yeah, Robin, we're going to get on that in a little bit. We're going to throw the link up, and we'll let you guys come on. For the first while, though, I'm kind of really, like I said, I'm really hoping that some of these people from the TikTok video, if they want to come over and make comment, I'm hoping to give them a shot at it first and let them come in, and then we can open it up to whoever the hell wants to say whatever they want to say. J-Mac, how you doing? Yeah, that's so true. Absolutely true. Curtis, you don't want to see my nipples, man. I got big ass pointy nipples. I'm one of those men that I got torpedoes. Well, I don't know. I know that Best lost his channel because there was a porn. I don't know if I pull out my nipple. Robin, you were or not Robin, Curtis, you were playing with your nipples right on Best this afternoon, so I guess it doesn't count. You know what, Robert? I'm not ready for a scrap. But I am willing to let anybody come in say what they want to say, and I'm willing to defend myself, or defend my stance on the video. It doesn't have to be a scrap, obviously. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay. Sandra, one shot. That's all you get. Look at that sucker.
Oh my god.
Look at that sucker.
It's shaking. Why is it shaking?
Those are my legs shaking. I'm trying to fucking stand. There. That's all you get. Eat your heart out, Curtis. Eat your heart out. Yeah, Curtis, you can. Yeah, Curtis, knock yourself out, bro. You want to play with your own nipples? Knock yourself out. I swear to God. I swear to God. That's all you're getting. That's
So
that was
you're too close to it. Greg said when you stood up, the sound was better.
Oh, was it?
So push it here.
Don't do that.
Push it back.
Hold on, Dar's adjusting camera feed here. There. That's as far as you go. Okay. This is my last attempt to fix the sound. If not, I'm just going to sit here with my nipples on the screen and you guys can talk amongst yourselves.
Oh my God, J-Max comment highlighted.
That looks like a lonely pepperoni on a day old pizza. You know what, J-Mac? It's felt like one the odd day or two. Yeah, Sandra, you were nice. Thanks. Just sit back and smile. Robin, that's your business, buddy. You take care of that. Trucker, I'm up north of Kingston, east of Toronto. I'm basically dead. If you go dead center between Toronto and Montreal and just go north, you got like Kingston in the middle, and if you just go north of that, I'm up there. Dar, that's right, Sandra. Dar likes her pepperoni. She loves her pepperoni. Damn right, man. She's a pepperoni girl. Everything else good with you guys? Everything else good with you guys? What else was there? It was
oh, the whole thing that happened yesterday.
What the hell was that?
How nobody had like or how I still can't call from my phone.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Is pepperoni a Canadian thing? Yeah, it is, dude. We put pepperoni on pizza and we put Canadian bacon on pizza. I think you guys put sausage or some weird shit like that.
Trailer Park Boys, where are they?
How close are we to the Trailer Park Boys? Fuck, bro, I don't know. Bro, I don't know. What do you say? What are you showing me that for? I can't read that.
It says Brian's nipple and it's picture of a nipple.
Somebody took a snap. Oh my God. There you go. Who the fuck is that? I don't know. One of you fuckers did that. I don't know who did that. That's awesome though. That is. I bet that's Curtis. I guarantee you that's Curtis. Oh, no. They're in Nova Scotia. Okay, Gaines, and they are about 16 hours from us. If you keep driving east from me on the 401 right out through Montreal, Quebec City, and then New Brunswick, then they are about 16, 17 hours away from us. Been out there lots of times. Beautiful, one of the most beautiful provinces in all of Canada. I love it out there. I don't like driving out there in my truck because of the hills and the shit and the price of fuel, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Any of you guys all get fucked yesterday with Rogers? Rogers was down. What, they were down for 26 hours or something.
Easily.
I don't think Dar
still
still
down.
can't make a phone call on her phone. I can on mine. I can make a phone call on mine, and I can do everything on mine. Mine's working fine, but Dar still can't make a phone call. And yeah, I woke up yesterday morning. I was in Napoleon, Ohio, and I grabbed my phone and went to say good morning to Dar, and there was no service. And I'm thinking, fuck, did we not pay the bill? And did we get cut off? Or no, we didn't. No, we paid the bill and we didn't get cut off. It was Rogers. They shit the bed, I guess. Yeah, and the debit cards weren't working either. AJ Mac. Yeah, that's right. The debit cards weren't working. I guess a couple of the banks had no problem. I think, what was it, Dar? If you were with Scotiabank or something,
BMO was fine.
BMO was fine because they don't do their internet and they don't have their lines with Rogers. But anybody that was with Rogers, you were fucked. Like, I couldn't use my bank card for anything, but I could use a credit card. I don't know. IH guy, yeah, he was down till 10 p.m. last night. I was down way past that, bro. I didn't go to bed till after that. I still had no phone service. I was at the house. I made it home last night, so I was on the house Wi-Fi, so I was able to tootle around on my phone. But yeah, it sucks balls. I had no phone. It wasn't till I got up this morning and tested it this morning that I realized. So I don't know what time I got back. But I know that, for example, I went over today to buy my winning lottery ticket for the 20 million on the 649 and the OLG, because the OLG terminals were still down. You couldn't buy a lottery ticket. There's a handle. I'm not even going to insult you by trying to fucking pronounce that. Getty Dwegib. Dwegib? Sorry, man. If I chewed that up and screwed that up on you, I apologize, man. Good handle, though. I haven't seen one like that in a while. Same thing happened last year. AIH, yeah. I think it's happened a couple of times.
No, this is the second.
Is it the second time?
I
Yeah.
don't remember the first, though.
Yeah, it's yeah, all the banks. It was out here as well, Curtis. It was out here as well. Like, even like I said, I was in Napoleon. I had to use a credit card. Couldn't use a bank card. So I got it right. Not bad, eh? Not bad. I have not seen you before. Where did you come from and where did you find us? I'm glad you're here. Come on in, pipe in, say anything you want. Yeah, Robert, I have, believe it or not. It's actually impressive what they've done. Now, it's funny, okay? It's funny. These guys mobilized super fast, very well organized. They did a great fucking job setting themselves up over there. And you notice that nobody's going to jail? You notice that nobody's getting stomped with horses?
Actually, somebody got shot at.
Okay, but it's nowhere near what we had in Ottawa.
No.
And they got more people there than we had. Okay, they're organized over there. They really are. In my opinion, they are really doing it well. Post trip, good to see you, bro. Yeah, those farmers and what they're doing. Somebody made a comment, and I have to agree with it. What they're doing is they're making it so hard for them over there that these guys lose their land, and everything becomes basically they're trying to make it so that the reset in 2030 comes, and by then everybody's lost their land, they've lost their farms, they've lost their income, and then they are now relying on the government, right? So it'll be the reset is in, and everybody is taking the government handout. Nobody is making more, nobody's making less. Everybody's on the same. I saw a couple of guys, Best went off on it today. Another guy went off on it today, that they're just basically, they're fucking everybody. Just go scrolling through the shorts and found me interesting. Well, that's a nice thing to say. That's the nicest thing somebody's called me today. Synthetic beef. Yeah, Greg. They're actually, what they're trying to do is they're trying to set it up so that by the time the reset comes, that all of the land, all of the farms, all of the everything is owned by the government, because people have given it all up, right? They've lost their land and they've lost their farm. So what's happened is the government takes it over and they'll own it all. You'll work on the farm. You'll probably end up working on your own fucking farm, but you won't own a lick of it, right? You won't own a single lick of it. Look at Robin. Robin's looking for a fight. Where the fuck are these TikTokers? Zach, there's a lot of them. And dude, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'll drive all day long. I'll load, I'll unload, I'll drive all day long. I'll get my truck parked in a truck stop, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I get out of my truck and I post trip it every single fucking time, because I don't. You know, many a night, man, like I've not eaten. I've not, you know, I'm hungry. I need to go to the bathroom. You know, I'm not going to jump out of my truck and run down and piss behind my trailer. I got to go inside. It's like, you know what? Do I post trip my truck every single time I park it? No, sir, I do not. I won't sit here and lie to you and tell you that I do, but I don't. Do I try to do it as much as possible? Yes. But do I do it every single time? No. So if I see some guy roll in and he's, you know, he's looking a little haggard and a little worse for wear, do I criticize him or do I judge him because he's not doing a post trip? Nope. Sorry. I don't. As long, in my opinion, as long as you are giving a good, thorough pre-trip in the morning, that I would say, yeah, that's good enough. I agree, trucker gal. Thank you. As long as you're giving a really good, thorough pre-trip, I got no problem with that. The post-trip at the end of the day, you know what? If the wheels, basically sometimes the way I feel, if the wheels are on it and the engine ain't smoking and I turn it off, you know what? I'll check it in the morning. Because like I said, I want to eat. I want to go have my walk. I want to talk to my wife. I want to say goodnight to Dar. You know, I've got 1,000 things that I want to do. So, Mr. B's from North Carolina, how was your Trump rally?
No, he's going to it.
Oh, you're going to it. We will be back after the Trump rally. I'm sorry. My mouth is moving faster than my eyes can read here. Tahara, good to see you. Glad you're here. Yeah, okay, Robin, we'll swap. Is that what you're looking? That's what they're looking for. They're one of those couples. They're looking for a bow, checka, wow, wow. They're looking to swap. Post trip, I agree. If I wake up and there isn't fluid on the ground when I pre-trip, then we're moving in right direction. Yeah, agree. Thorough pre-trip. Give yourself a good pre-trip in the morning. Don't cheap out on it. Take your time. Do it right. Give it the proper, you know, the 15 minutes. Now, here's one I had an argument with a guy the other day. And this guy was adamant that he does this every single time. Now, whether he does or he doesn't, that's entirely up to him. Post-trip, Zach, a couple other you guys are drivers in here, trucker gal. Every single morning when you do your pre-trip, any of you guys climb under your truck and measure your brake stroke? I don't. I'll say that right up front. My hand is up. I do not. Any of you guys do it? Alaska Hall. How hard is it to get your own authority in Canada? It is not hard at all. Bro, unfortunately, you guys in the States complicate everything. Or not you guys, but I mean like your FSMCA and OOIDA and you guys complicate a lot of shit, and it's a lot of loops and hoops and loops that you guys got to jump through. We don't have that. We don't have that. Honest to God, man, if I wanted to get my own authority right now, it would cost me about 30 grand, and I could have it up and operating inside of 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I could be up and operating. If I made the decision today on Saturday and I went in and started on Monday, 3 weeks from now, my own name would be on the door, my own plates, my own stickers, my own insurance, my own truck, my own trailer, and down the road I'd go. Unfortunately, you guys have a whole lot more loops and shit to jump through. Now I think it is more expensive for us. And that's mostly from, I know, to get your own authorities, for me to run all 48 states and all the provinces in Canada, I think it's like $8,500. Now these are Canadian funds. Okay. So it's $8,500 Canadian. And, but I know for the insurance, I'm somewhere around $26,000, $27,000 a year. That could be a little bit off. But you know, about 26, 27,000. So no, you guys don't check. Okay, Zach, you don't check your brake stroke. Okay, but that's part of your pre-trip. You do bend over the tire and look at your pads. Okay, but you don't, like, by reason, we're supposed to climb under there, right? You're supposed to have that little tool that pushes your brake pedal. You're supposed to climb under there and get your little device, and you're supposed to. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't do that at all. I these things are supposed to be self-adjusting, so I don't. Now, in lieu of doing that, well, I will say that I do is that every time I get the chance and I'm in the shop, and not every single time, I don't mean like twice a week, but every once in a while when I'm in the shop, I'll run it into the shop real quick and say, hey boys, take a look at this. Do me a favor, just take a quick look at this, would you? You know, I'm not doing it every single morning, but yeah, post trip. I like to run a lot of mountains, so I like to check once a month and also get the and also at brake stations. There you go. I can't check my brake stroke when the company's lot is mud. Well, that's the other thing. A lot of the times, you're not in a position where you can actually get under the truck. In order for me to get underneath my truck, I have to go out from the back. I have to go all the way to the back of the truck. And this is without a trailer. This is just my truck. I have to go to the back of the truck and work my way forward because I've got the skirts over the tanks, right, in the Cascadia, and then I've got those little plastic fins or those rubber fins on the bottom of the skirt. So there's only about 4 inches of clearance from the bottom of my fin to the ground. Well, I can't climb underneath that, right? So I have to literally go all the way back. So again, just to tell you, no, I don't do it. I get the shop to do it every once in a while. And yeah, but the pre-trip itself, yeah, absolutely, got to do a good pre-trip.
What?
M. Smith is in the house. Here you go, Zach. Yeah, check your lugs. At least once a week, I like to get my nuts torqued and my nipples greased. That's just standard in trucking. Nuts torqued, nipples greased. Trav, that's a good question. Without throwing anything or any mud, the miles were good. I wasn't able to cross the border at the time, so I was stuck working in Canada, and I just wasn't getting paid enough. I wasn't making what I was supposed to be making. At the end of the day, it all came down to fuel surcharge. Okay, I'm now working for a company that gives 100% of the fuel surcharge, and they pull their fuel surcharge offline, and that's the number they go with. And then they turn around and they apply that to your entire week, and then they give it to you in a lump sum. I get my statement every Friday, and I get my fuel surcharge for the week on that 100%, and then they show it. They show where the money came from, and 100% transparency is what I'm trying to say. The previous company was not able to do that. They didn't give us 100% of the surcharge. They probably gave us about 40% of the surcharge, which leads me to think of where's the rest of that surcharge going? I'm paying for the fuel. You know, I don't give a fuck that you're giving me 10 cents off a liter at the pump. That's jack shit. That didn't mean fucking nothing to me. If I'm paying, you know, $1,200, $1,500, $1,600 a fill up, I deserve the fuel surcharge if that's what it's costing me. So, and it was that alone that pushed me out the door. Plain and simple. Look at the fucking. I liked working there. I loved working on their channel. I liked working there. I'll be honest with you, Ronan was very fair with me. I got my truck through them. They weren't supposed to sell that truck. It's a 2020. They weren't supposed to sell it, but they made an exception. They sold it to me and gave me a very, very good price on it. So I can't say anything bad about the people that I worked for. It was just some of the practices and some of the things they did didn't work for me. Right? Basically, I'm going to go where I have to go to make money, and that's what I did. On his way, how you feeling since the second shot? Well, bro, I haven't grown a tail and I'm not cross-eyed yet, but no, I feel fine. But I'm still on meds. So if there's say any issues with blood clots like from the first one, I wouldn't know about it because I'm still on the meds. I'm on the blood thinners and the enzymes, and I'm going to be on them for the rest of my life now. So if there's any issue to do with blood clots, I wouldn't know about it. But I feel fine. I took the second shot. My arm was sore like everybody else, and then I had a headache for a couple of days. I had some body aches, but other than that, after about 3 or 4 days, I was good. I was good. Yeah, Trav, you're right. At the end of the day, you know, we're in business here to make money. And I'm not here to break even. I'm not here to just put a couple bucks in the bank. I'm here to make money. And you're right. I got to take care of my own. I got to take care of, you know, I've got a home. I've got a wife. I've got financial responsibilities here. That comes first. It comes first before me. You know, my family comes before my well-being. My family comes, my home and everything else comes before any of mine, anything to do with me. So, yeah, man. Robert, they didn't give you the fuel surcharge. I was typing and then you said it. Loads of owner operators are folding up at $2 a liter, or that's £2, right? That's or £2.07. So that's probably about $3, Robert. I don't know. I can't do the exact exchange rate here, but it's probably closer to about $3 a liter. Dude, at $3 a liter, I don't know what the fuck I would do. I'll tell you the truth, because my fuel surcharge would have to be like 115%. I'd have to whatever if the load was worth $1,000, I'd have to charge $1,500 for $1,500 worth of fuel surcharge. You're worse than shit was 412 liters the other day. So roughly $1,000, but it was company fuel, so we got a good deal on it. Well, I put when I was working at ET, and I was paying pump price for fuel, the highest I filled out in New Brunswick, out in where the fuck was I? I was in Moncton. I was filled at the Petro Pass in Moncton, and in one shot, it was over $1,600. I was almost weeping. $1,600 for a tank, for one fill up and a tank of fuel. That's ridiculous. Now where I'm working now, I think the most I've the biggest fill up I've had, I think, is maybe about $1,100, $1,200. And that was like, I don't usually let my fuel get below a quarter tank, but I did. I was a little below a quarter tank, so. This one doesn't want to stay lit. Most of them, you at least get like 2 or 3 minutes, eh? Trav, this is a Rocky Patel. Really, really, really good cigars. If you're a cigar guy, Rocky Patel. This is a vintage 1990. This one was donated to me by my son-in-law, Mike. This one is a really, really, it's really tasty. It's a little stronger. It starts out a little earthy. It's got an earthier flavor to it. It's not got that like the Montes do or the Romeos do. This one's a little earthier. It's not creamy, but it's really good. It's smoking really well all the way through. It's so far I'm enjoying this. I've not had one of these before. Susan, do I inhale? For the most part, no. Like for example, like with a cigarette where you take a puff or like say, like here's the vape, right? Like, no. With a cigar, you generally don't, because the smoke goes, you take the pull, the smoke goes in your mouth, the pores inside your mouth absorb the nicotine, you get the nicotine, and then you just slowly let it out. Me, myself, I kind of swallow a little bit of it, and I like it to come out of my nose because it gives it another flavor. You get the enhanced flavor of it. Does some of it make it down into your lungs? Yeah, I'm sure it does. But no, do I inhale it? Hell no. If I tried to inhale that for the next 2 hours, all you'd listen to me is hacking and coughing and choking. A lot of flack.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah, J-Mac, I don't know where the TikTokers are. None of them wanted to step up. I thought for sure by doing that some of them would be willing to, want to voice their opinion or give their 2 cents or whatever. When you open up a platform and say to them, like, hey, come on, and you're welcome to say what you want. You can trash me, you can swear at me, whatever the fuck you want to do. I figured at least one person would show up, but so far nothing. No, Zach, we're not putting the link up yet. Don't worry, buddy. We'll let you know. I'll let you know. Can't do it. We can't wait too long, though, Dar. Narsoft keyboard warriors. That's what I called them, eh? Or a bunch of fucking armchair quarterbacks. Right? That's all they were. Armchair quarterbacks. Guys, you guys know me. Every one of you guys fucking know me pretty well. If you've got something to say to me, say it. Absolutely say whatever the fuck you want to say to me. I got no problem taking flack from anybody. Any of yous or anybody in my life. I got no problem taking any kind of flack. So if you've got something you want to say, by all means, please go ahead and fucking say it. I'll listen to you. But be prepared if you're going to get fucking stupid with me and you're going to say shit and you're going to trash me. I'm going to come back at you. Will I be as nice as I my normal, self? Possibly not. But if you're going to come at me, just remember, I'm going to say something to you. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm hoping that somebody at least come in here and say what they said, defend what they saw or said when they saw the video. But I guess not. Without trying to make this sound prejudicial, and it's not, but it's just a fact, because any one of you guys can go over to that video and look at all the comments. I would probably say about what, Dar, 70%?
Well, maybe 90.
Okay, Dar's saying maybe 90. 90% of them came out of Brampton, which means that, okay, let's just call it what it is. They were Indians, and they weren't had that. I guess I pissed off the Indian community. They weren't happy with what I said. They weren't happy with the video that I put up. And I called out the trucking company as well. And I know for a fact that trucking company comes out of the Toronto Brampton area. So I pissed off a bunch of Indians or the Indian community, or a group of Indians, and they weren't happy. And they let me know they weren't happy. So, yeah, Dar's right. A couple of them did. Dar saying, although many of them. No, it wasn't fucking many of them. There wasn't many of them at all. I don't know how many comments are on that video, but
like 150.
There's like 150 comments, and there might be what, 3, 4?
No, there's more than that. You don't even read them.
Yeah, 690. Yeah. Are you crazy? I wouldn't dare piss off the Native American Indians or the Native Canadian Indians. You out of your fucking mind? I'd be listening right now. We'd be listening to the drums beating over my fucking shoulder. I ain't doing that.
Tell Chucker, yeah.
So I watched your vid on why you got the 20 Freightliner, but what else pushed you so hard for it over like a Kenny T680 that you didn't mention? Trav, you know what? At this stage in my life, in my career, I'm coming to an end. We did look at the T680, going with a brand new one. We looked at the cost. We looked at the reliability. We looked at that next gen T680 is a gorgeous truck. I did a full review on one of those on ET's channel. Loved the truck. Would I have liked to have had one? Sure. Went in and spoke to Mark over at Kenworth in Mississauga there. Sat down with him, and by the time I was all said and done, out the door, I was almost $270,000. Now, at this stage in my career, do I want to put forth that kind of commitment, financial commitment? No, I don't. Okay, I've only got a few years of driving left, and I'm not prepared for that kind of commitment. 5 years ago, I just said, sure, here's 80 grand. Let's put 100 grand down on it, and let's go with it. But no, I was lucky that I was able to flip the Volvo, flip the W9, take everything I made on both of those, put it down on this Freightliner. And like I said, I give kudos to Ronan. Him and the director board there or whatever, or upper management, they really came through and they pulled a solid, and they gave me a really good price on that truck. I paid on a 2020 Cascadia with just over 300,000 on it. I paid 140 for it, dude. Out the door for 140. Bro, I can sell that truck right now for 175. So, and like I said, I was able to put a hefty down payment down on that. So I've got a 2020 with low miles, full warranty, and I got the full jam extended warranty because that came with the truck, APU, and I've got a $2,000 a month truck payment. Dude, I'm where I need to be, and that's what it was. I if I would, like I said, if it was 5 years ago, I would have gone for the more comfortable truck. You know, the couple of the more bells and whistles, the nicer truck, the da-da-da. I was just not there. That I'm just not there. So I opted for the Freightliner. And I can't complain. Kelly just made a really good point. You know, that truck last week, I ran on the rounder. I went from Iroquois, Ontario, which is up by Cornwall, or say Brockville. I went from Iroquois, Ontario, out to Liberty, which is Kansas City. I had 36,000 in the box. I then unloaded in Liberty and went out to Topeka, Kansas, reloaded in Topeka, and I came back to Iroquois. And on the rounder, the complete rounder, that truck did almost 9 miles per gallon. It's 8.9 miles per gallon. How do you complain about that? How do you complain about that? Like, that's money in my book. That's money all day long. Absolute. And then what I did is I reset my my gauge. Now this wasn't the pump, you know, put fuel in. This was just what the truck was telling me. Now I don't always take 100% faith in that, but from Topeka, Kansas, back to the yard, the truck, Kelly's right, because I sent him a picture of it. The truck did 10.1. Now I was a little bit lighter. Okay, I wasn't heavy. I think I had about 19,000 and a tailwind. But I got 10.1 miles per gallon. I actually made money on my fuel. If you can believe that, if you can think about that in a sense, I actually made money on my fuel. So I hope that answers your question, Trav. I didn't do it because I didn't do it because I was being cheap. I was just doing it because at 52 years old, my career is winding down. I wasn't ready to get into another 5 or 6 year commitment, which you would have. You finance 270,000. Even if you put 100 grand down, you're still financing 170. That's a 5 year commitment. So, hope that answers your question, bro. Okay.
Do you want to invite anyone?
No, yeah. You're eating?
Starting to.
Are you? We might actually have to move this operation inside. We're going to lose the light.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, well, the last time we did this, we sat out by the fire.
Oh.
Right, so I had we had the firelight all night.
Okay.
But this time here, we got no fire.
Well, we can move in, and when we move in, then we'll put the thing up.
You're going to have to get Pootie to...
Oh, do you want me to go set it up?
Yeah. 690 still gets 4.5 out of his star. Yeah, but I think 690, you're pulling joints, aren't you? Yeah, Trav. Your 18 got 8 to 9, pulling 15 to 30,000, going 65 up and down I-35 from Dallas to Laredo. Pretty good for a 4-year. It is. Bro, anytime you're over 9 miles or and fucking 9, anytime you're over 8. Right now the standard is 8. Not standard, but if you're over 8 miles per gallon, you're doing pretty good. You're doing all right. If I can get up to close to 9 or over 9, that's not only like at 8 miles on my truck here, I only have to hit 6.9, 6.8, 6.97 to make a profit. So anything over 7, I'm making a profit. Anything over 8, I'm making gravy on my profit. And anything up to 9, that's called fucking buku cash. Right? And that's just on fuel. Never mind the rate that I'm making. So when my fuel surcharge comes back and I get my fuel surcharge and my fuel surcharge pays me more than I spent in fuel, that's a damn good fucking week. That is a damn good week. Yeah, trucker gal, you like that live, that fire. Unfortunately, we can't get it set right now because where the fire pit is now, or where it is now, is I I don't know if the Wi-Fi will reach out. It's out by the pool. We readjusted and moved a bunch of shit around, and so we put that out by the pool, and we put up the gazebo and all that kind of shit. So it's out there, and I'm not 100% sure that the Wi-Fi will reach that. So unfortunately, I didn't think about that, but I know that Dar just went into the house. She's gonna, we usually do it in the garage, so I know that she just went in and yeah, and the binoculars, yeah. So Dar just went in to go set that up. So when we lose the sunlight here, which is fading pretty quick, I'll just pick you guys up and I'll take you through the house and we'll go there. Robert, I sold my truck 2 years ago, a bit premature. Now I look at it. You've had a free truck for a year with the prices of equipment now. Bro, I have. Robert, I have. You'll never hear me griping about my truck. Okay? Really, I won't. You won't. For what I paid for the truck, for what it's worth right now, and for what the truck and the performance of the truck and the way it's working for me right now, you won't hear me bitch. Would I like to sit here and go, oh yeah, I drive a beautiful 2023 T680? I'd love to say that, but I don't, and I can't. I'd love to. I love the truck. They're absolutely, in my opinion, they're gorgeous. And I think Kenworth got it right when they did it with the aerodynamic package, the way they built the truck. Still got no landline. Where the hell are you? Out on the island somewhere. You got to be somewhere there if you got no landline. No bang bang, no kids. Well, that's typical of a guy. She does all the work and I just had to slap the meat into it.
Oh my god.
She does all the setup. Hey?
I can't find them.
They're in my room right beside my humidor. No, you're in Aaron. Wow. J Mac, I used to live there, bro. Back in the day, absolutely. When the 10 acre was the 10 acre, I think when when the original family, his name was Bobby. I think the original owner, when Bobby used to own that was the shit. That place was the bomb. Food was awesome. You could roll in there and eat, and you'd have to be pushed back to your truck. Unknown Woman channel, thanks for joining us. Yeah, the 10 acre was fantastic. Then it got bought out by another group, and they purposely ran it into the ground. The family sold it, and then I think 5 years ago it got bought out by another family, and they purposely ran it into the ground and milked it. And now it's been bought by a conglomerate. I think there's three or four investors, and they're trying to bring it back up right now. They've torn part of the building, the old building down. They're rebuilding it. I think there's a Timmy's in there. I'm sure that's probably going to stay. But I think they're rebuilding it. They're going to redo the whole thing eventually and bring it right back up to the way it used to be. I really hope so, because I loved it. The previous owner, not the original owner, but the previous owner that ran it into the dirt, they turned it into a paid-only parking. You had to pay to go in there, or you had to go in and eat, and then they'd give you a ticket to go in there and eat. But I wouldn't go eat in there. It wasn't worth the meal for the free parking. You live in Belleville, okay, bro? So you know better than me, then. You know better than me. But what's the, if you live in Belleville, then you know the name. There's a sign, right? When you come up the ramp at the 538 there, and you come up the ramp and you go across, say you're going eastbound, and you go across to go into the parking lot. There's now a sign on the right hand sign. It says, I think it's Petro or Petro or something like that. It's P something. And that's the group that has bought it. That's now going to be refinishing it or bringing it back to its old glory. What do I normally haul? Trav, now I'm on vans. So yeah, you have 53-foot dry vans, and whatever they can put in it. Anything you can stick in it, we haul. I did flatbed for about 16 years, but I've come off of that because I've just had enough. My back is tired, my shoulders are tired, my body is just tired from doing all of that. So I don't bother. I really hope they don't, J-Mac. They put an IHOP in there, I won't step foot in it. I was kind of hoping they'd go back to the old style and do like a mom and pop restaurant, you know, something like in-house, not a fucking not a, what do you call those, like a Burger King or like a fast food or a chain. Not a chain. I didn't want to see a chain. Trev, currently on oversize, hauling the manufactured homes now. That would be fun. That would be fun. I did oversized for a lot of years. I never pulled a complete, like the mod. You're talking modular homes, like they're complete, and then you basically deliver them to whatever the land. I never did that. I've done, you know, obviously sheds, shacks, shit like that, but I've never done a complete modular home. Cornwall Petro is a sad sight. It's little Brampton. It's big Brampton. It's the outside Brampton. It is. Are you getting chewed? Mm-hmm. All right, here, grab that. I'm just going to pick this. I'm just going to pick this up. We'll walk right through the house with it.
Okay, you first.
Yeah. You guys want to go for a walk? We're just going to go for a walk through the house out to the garage. And we'll get reset up out there. I didn't, stupid me, I didn't even think about this. I just kind of grabbed the setup out here. And so let's go for a walk. I'm going to stick this stogie in my mouth so I won't be able to talk. You guys talk amongst yourselves if you want. Just no nipple pictures, please. That sky back there, isn't that gorgeous? I don't know if you guys can see that. The sun just went down over those trees. I'm really lucky. My entire property is tree lined. I've got all the way around. I got complete privacy here. It's really nice. They can't see what I'm doing, but my big mouth, they can hear every fucking word I say. My nearest neighbor is like way over there, but I'm sure they can hear me.
Can you hurry up?
Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
No, don't open that.
Mm-mm. There we go. If anybody needs good body harnesses, if you guys are doing any high work, I got a couple of them there. Let me know. I'll ship them to you. I don't need them anymore.
Shit.
There we go. Thanks for your patience.
Somebody asked you a question, actually, Travis.
Yeah, I've probably missed a whole bunch of. Trav, Brian, when you get a chance, Brian, what's your opinion on the current future outlook regarding trucking in general? Trav, look at that mosquito, just drinking away.
We'll kill it.
I'm gonna kill it. All right, just pull him off and squeeze him.
It's a girl.
It's a girl. Yeah, it's a female. Sorry, Trav. In general, okay, I'll give you the short answer here. Okay. I think we're in shit. Okay. I think we're in shit. I think now, again, Travis, again, this is coming from a Canadian perspective. Okay. Again, you guys run things a lot differently in the States. And a lot of things are obviously are different. So I think in Canada, I think we're going to get probably snowballed within the next 5 years. They're going to make it so difficult for us to do our jobs that the owner operators are going to be the small time guys like me, 1 truck, 2 truck, whatever, are going to be pushed out. Only the mega carriers are going to survive. I think right now, although freight rates right now are not terrible, they're not bad. I think that we're going to see that the rates with interference are going to start dropping. And I'm trying to make this short because I myself, I just want to sit there and go, the government's going to fuck us and there's nothing we can do about it. And by doing that, I could start a shitstorm and everybody's going to do, Yeah, I just did anyway, but. Trucker Cal, I think you're off by about 15 years.
Give me some darts.
I think you're off by 15 years. Love, I think, what do you want me to do?
Just pick it up. Get me a couple.
You're right there. I think within 5 years. 5 years. I know that, down in the States, the mega carriers are the rulers. They can pretty much dictate whatever they want. And get whatever they want. Like you're telling me that between Swift, Schneider, JB Hunt, Werner, all between those 4 carriers, if they put their heads together, they can't get anything that they want pushed through. I think that they can. Do I think that there's nothing we can do about it? There's always something you can do about it. It's never, ever strike 3 and you're out. There's always one more option. It's how badly and how hard are you willing to fight for that option? The problem, in order for some of the options that we would have to rely on, in order to do that, we'd be hurting ourselves at the same time. So how badly do you want to hurt yourself? And when I say that, I mean that in a way that as an owner operator, or even as a company driver, if you're driving a company rig, the big one is shut the trucks down. That's the big one. There's nothing bigger on the fucking planet. If you take Canada and the US, put them together as one, there's nothing bigger on the planet that would cripple and get us what we want faster than shutting every truck down on the road. Will it ever happen? Probably not. Why? Because as a company driver, if you shut that, you don't own that equipment. You phone the boss and go, okay, I'm shutting down for 4 days because we got a protest. You're fired. You're unemployed. They'll fire you. Nothing you can do about that. As an owner operator, most guys can't afford it. If you had to shut down, a lot of the guys, and now there's some guys on here that can. If I had to shut my operation down for a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, I can afford to do that. A lot of guys are not in that position. A lot of guys are running day to day to day. If they had to shut down for a week, for a protest, financially it would cripple them. Okay, trucker gal, tell you what, you call your boss right now and call in sick for the rest of the week, for all of next week. And I want a video on it. I want to see how it goes. You do that. I want to see how that works for you. Unfortunately, the actions that we would have to take are drastic, and they're just too goddamn drastic for a lot of people to do it. Unfortunately, I don't have that option. Trucker gal, I don't have that option. I can say I'm you know, I got DARS PMS, you know. What am I gonna say? I got a hemorrhoid. I can't drive. I got a hemorrhoid. I got to take my truck off the road. Okay, you guys see that behind me? Fuck. She's throwing darts. Which one of you guys told her to throw darts at the Trudeau picture? Tell them you're going on vacation for a week. Well, you know what? That's like I said, Callie, I could tell them I'm going on vacation for a week, right? I own the truck. I can take whatever time I want off. I own the truck. But other guys don't. And they're not in that position. They're not in a position where, oh, I'm going to take a week off. Okay, sometimes if you're lucky, you might have vacation pay. But the whole company's not going to, everybody in the company is not going to shut down for a week. Everybody in the company is not going to shut down for a week. Robin just called Justin. You put in a good word there, I hope.
No, it's talking to Justin about.
Well. Trav, I think you're right. I think they're trying to put that, I think they're trying to do that here. And it's funny because the company that I'm with, they want more of them. They're trying to get away from the company driver and go the way of the lease op. And when I say lease op, I mean guys like me that own my own truck and I'm leased on to them. I don't lease the truck through them like the company I'm with, the ownership there, they're doing their best. They're looking. They're actually looking. They want 6 more owner operators to come out and to work. They're trying to get away they're trying to get away from the company drivers. But I think you're absolutely right. I think they are pushing. You're trying to push the lease ops out. It won't be long before they've made it so hard between the price of trucks, the price of fuel, the price of parts, the price of rates. I think they're going to make it so hard that at the end, the little guys like me just can't afford to do it. And that was also something else, Travis, that Dara and I had to think about when we were looking at buying a truck, buying another truck. We had to look at, you know, where's the market going to be in 5 years? Because on a brand new truck, that's a 5-year commitment, right? Whereas now I'm committed for 2. And I'm already almost 3/4 of the way through the first year on that. So, yeah, no shit, eh? How many of you guys actually are sitting at home right now and you've got your wife throwing darts over your head? Travis, I recommend leasing a truck on with a company. I have 0 interest in it currently, but I get emails, text. Well, she's getting better to do it all the time. You know what? I agree. I do. Right now, I think if you can find the right company, and this is actually, Darth, throw the link up. Travis, I want you to come in here. We can talk about this. I'm going to throw the link up. If you're comfortable with it, why don't you jump in here? If you're trucker gal, you too, if you want, come on in. I'd like to hear what you think about this. If you are able to get on with the right company. Now, myself personally, I wouldn't touch Schneider. I wouldn't touch any of the big 5. I went back to the smaller companies, and I found that I've been more successful with them. I was with TransX or DecX for 14 years, 15 years, something like that. So I've done both. I've gone TransX big. I was with Contrans before that when it was Laidlaw. Before that, I was with ET. Now ET is not like a multiple, like doesn't have thousands of units, but I think they're over a couple hundred. So
I think you can. Oh, one waiting. Going.
yeah, I know.
See if I can get this one. Nope. I'll take them down in a sec.
I see you waiting there, Robin. Hold on, give me a second until I get this lit.
Can I just turn you for a second?
Why? Okay, hold on a sec. We're gonna bring a couple in here.
Are they waiting?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I see you got yourself all pretty there for me, Robin. That's real good. Thanks, buddy.
Oh, here.
Yeah, you're looking real sexy there.
No, I don't ever look sexy, man.
Look at that hair. I love it.
That's pretty wild.
Oh,
Sandra, you sleeping?
Oh yeah, she's out. She's
That's
out,
like a
man.
light. Dude.
Oh, she's out, man. I'll wake her up in a few minutes,
Who we
okay?
got here? T. Brian. Blue, bring on another couple more here.
Oh, there we go. This
How
is
we
nice.
doing, boys?
Good. How you
Okay.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good to hear. It's good to hear.
Hold on, I gotta turn my volume up. You guys.
I am good.
Let me turn mine up too.
There we go.
Yeah, I look like shit.
So basically, what I was just talking about was is sort of like the industry. Do you think it's worth it to go on as a lease op? Is it worth it today in today's industry? Is it worth it for the dollars? Is it worth it for the cents? Is it worth it for your time?
I'm gonna say no.
Why?
I'm gonna say, well, like, look at cost overruns and everything that's happening right now. And then, do you want to buy a new vehicle? It depends on the vehicle. Okay, there we go. Let's break it down to that. It depends on the vehicle.
I'd say leasing would be worth it if you lease the same way you would a car, where if you lease out with the company, they take care of the what's the right word? The maintenance, everything else on it. You have to follow the maintenance schedule down to a T. That includes but if you could follow it to the same way that you could if you lease like a car or trucks or like, I don't know, Ford or
So like a full service program.
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so
But
you've got let's say you've got a full service program. You've leased your truck. Now, are you taking the lease separate, or are you leasing it from the trucking company? I'm asking for a reason, and I want to see what your reason is, and I'm going to take you down another path.
Well, so what's the difference? Because I've only been company driving. I don't even know I understand what the difference is, but which one?
There's two different types of lease ops. Okay, you can be a lease op like me. For example, I own my truck. I can take my truck tomorrow. I can go anywhere I want and work anywhere I want. I own the truck. I lease it through a leasing company that deals with trucks. The other lease op package and the other lease op deal is you work with a company, for example, Schneider, Swift, JB, whatever, and you take one of their units and you lease it from them. You make a monthly payment, like a truck payment. You pay owner operator rate. You get paid owner operator rates. You get, your fuel. You get your whatever. But at the end of the day, you can't take the truck and just leave, right? Because it's leased on with them. If you want to take the truck from them and you want to go somewhere else, literally you have to buy it out. So if you have a 3-year lease with Schneider, you have to buy out that 3-year lease. So is that worth it? In my opinion, no. No. I
Well,
would
that's-
absolutely say not. If you're going to do it the way I do it right now, yes. Yes.
Well, let's say because you own the truck, you just if you wanted tomorrow, you just walk off to do your own thing and be on to someone else. Not
Yeah,
even
that's the only good thing about you being an owner operator, for sure. Like, you can, if you don't like the deal, you can leave too. But yes, you do have those hiccups, and that's a good part about the lease deal. If you lease a truck, it saves you money at the end of the day, Brian, right?
Well, yeah, yes and no. If I lease, the reason I lease a truck, I could have, let's say I bank with TD. I could have gone to the bank and taken out a loan for $140,000 and bought the truck. Right?
Yeah.
Now, in order, when you do that, you don't get the same tax deductions. You don't get the same, you don't fall into the same classification for taxes. When you own the equipment like that, now I don't know, I'm just going to give you some numbers, but I don't know if they're exact. But I think on the first year, you can write off, I think 30% of your payment or 40% of your payment. Then the second year, you can write off, it gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah, because you're running it as a business. You're running it as a business.
Equipment, though, Robin, you can lease off you can write off 100% of your truck payment. 100%. You're not fucking around, because when you buy the equipment from the bank, after I think the second year, you're only writing off the depreciation value and your interest. Which in the big picture, the schema picture of things, it's fuck all, Robin.
Yeah,
right?
I understand.
I've got a lease on this truck, right? My truck payment is $2,000 a month. I write off 100% of that. That's a 100% tax deductible for the whole term of the lease, every single payment. Whereas
like
if you own the equipment, the first year you only get this much, then it goes down to this much. By the time you get into the third and the fourth year, you're writing off interest only. Well, the interest is fucking what? $300, something like that a month? No,
yeah,
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
People aren't understanding. A lot of guys aren't understanding that there's the trucking business, and then there's the business of trucking. Right, you got it. What's the difference now? The business of trucking. Trucking business is what we do. We pick up freight from here, we go to there, we deliver it, we get the bill signed. The business of trucking is the other part, the math part. The business of trucking, exactly, is all the stuff that we do in the background that enables our business to work. That's the business of trucking. So I know guys out here that have been driving for 40 years, and they got the trucking business down to a science, right? But if you ask them the business part of it and the background and all of the little things that we do that make us large amounts of money, they don't have a clue how it works.
Okay, Brian, sorry to interrupt you, but how has the fuel costs affected you? Because it's affected me. It cost me like $200 to fill my fucking truck now.
Okay.
Like it's ridiculous. Like, so is your
Robin,
company
as a farmer, right? Technically, you classify as a farmer, do you not?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you get to write off your fuel?
To a point. I think I get 30%.
Okay. Well, as a truck driver, as first of all, I'm an incorporated business. So as a truck driver, I'm allowed to write off 100% of my fuel. And we have, thank God, we have a fuel surcharge. In our business, we have a fuel surcharge. Now, and I think in the farmers, you guys are allowed to apply a fuel surcharge as well, depending on if you are in-house carrying your own product from your farm to the market or wherever you do it. I think you're allowed to do that. But I have a fuel surcharge that we apply to the customers or the broker or however it gets worked. There's different ways it gets worked out. There's so much in the middle.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole
lot
matrix
to it. But there's a fuel surcharge that we apply that helps compensate for the high price of fuel. So if the price of fuel goes up, so does that fuel surcharge.
Yeah, I know. There's a whole matrix to it.
Right. So when the price of fuel goes down, though, the fuel surcharge goes down as well. It's basically supposed to be a buffer to compensate for the price, so that we're always paying a same or a fairly same price.
Fairly same price, yeah.
You know, if you can catch a break and you've got a decent truck, a well-maintained truck, and you can get good mileage out of it, right now you can do well. You know,
You mean like a carbureted vehicle?
no, I'm talking about transport trucks. When's the
I
last
know.
time you saw a fucking carburetor on a Peterbilt, dickhead?
Oh man, fuck! I used to work on those all the time.
Yeah, sure you did.
No, I did for real. I miss those days, man.
Okay, Rob, you're absolutely right. Remember, at the end of the lease purchase, there's a buyout at the end of the term. Bro, that's all up to you. Okay?
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. That's entirely up to you, Rob. When you set up your lease, now, for example, I set up my lease I put this much money down. I put, I set up, this is the term, this is my interest rate. I negotiated. I got everything set up, and they have options. If you want your payment to be this amount for this amount of years, but you can't afford that, you can have what's called a balloon payment on the end. Guys have them all the time. So you'll have, say, a 4-year lease with a $30,000 buyout on the end, meaning that at the end of the 4 years, you have to pay an additional $30,000 plus HST, and then you own the truck, right? Myself personally, I have a $1 buyout, and every lease I always make the same deal. It's a $1 buyout, and I do that while I'm in the office. I burp right in her face or in his face while I'm signing my lease. $1 buyout plus tax. Don't get me wrong; the government wants their percentage, so the $1 they want they take their tax, but you can negotiate that. One of the big problems or issues that guys have with leases these days when they're signing a lease is they go in and they take whatever's put in front of them. Well, this is, Mr. Jones, this is what we can do for you. And you sign it. Oh, thank you very much. You're just grateful to get it. No. Guys, when you go in and you get a lease, what's the lease on that, Robin? How many years you got on
too
that
many
lease?
pierogies. Too many pierogies is what the lease is.
But negotiate your lease. Everything's negotiated. I negotiated my
Oh,
interest
shit.
rate. I negotiated my terms, my length of term. I negotiated fucking everything. The buyout. Always. Trucker gal.
Hey,
yeah,
Brian, would you sell your truck right now?
Would I?
Or would you keep it? No?
No,
Not worth it, eh?
I can make a profit. Actually, I could probably make 30 grand.
But you're still not going to sell it, eh?
No, well, no. Why would I? I'll run it till the end of the lease, and then I'll probably get out of it. But
Yeah. How much is left on your lease?
Hey, Brian, would you sell
trucker gal, they would make more money ultimately at the end of the day if everybody went W-2, which is company for you guys in the States. That's company driver. Yeah, they would. You just think about it. If every owner operator on the road was pushed out, everybody had to go W-2. The tax revenue created by that would be fucking ridiculous. And they would love it.
How about the tax revenue that they don't receive from the e-cars?
Well,
They don't pay
fucking
road
e-cars.
tax. They don't pay road tax.
Well, they don't
That's
burn
in
fuel. They don't burn
fuel, but they still eat up the fucking highways. Right? They still eat up the highways, man. Like, they still drive on the highways. It's a highways tax. Like, and the e-cars aren't paying for that.
They don't pay road tax.
Trucker gal, I myself personally, I'm an owner operator because I hate paying taxes.
Who
I
doesn't
do my
hate
own
paying taxes?
I do.
Fuck, Brian. Like, where the fuck is your head at right now? Who doesn't hate paying taxes? You
But I
gotta
hate
fuck
it
the
more than
government as
anybody
much
else.
as you can.
If I was a company driver, I'd be paying a whole lot more in tax than I do as an owner operator and running an incorporated business. The whole
Imagine how
idea-
many 24-inch like LED TV screens you could have in your house right now. Just
Do I
write
know
them
how
off
many
on
I
your
can
truck.
have? Yeah, I got fucking a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I got a 24. What are you watching on a 24?
What, you got something bigger than that in your semi? What are you running, a 36?
I had a 40 in my Volvo. I can't fit a 40 in the
Oh.
Freightliner.
I'd be scared I'd kick it at night getting a
No, it's
finger in
mounted
the...
on the wall. Got mounted on the wall.
Oh, shit.
I can put a 27 in the Freightliner. That's the biggest I can put in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's crazy. How, like, do your eyes go all buggy?
No.
I'd be scared I'd kick it at night getting the
Yeah, that's what I'd be scared of.
No, I've got it. They're mounted on the wall, so it's not where your feet are.
You think it'd be a lot lizard or something, you know?
really
I've got 32 in mine.
like
2 lot lizards at your place?
No, he's
Okay,
got a
I'm coming over
32
right
inch.
now. I'm coming over right now.
that's what I'm scared of.
W2s can get some write-offs. Yes, they can. Trucker gal, they do here as well. You can write off. Yeah, you can write off your your equipment, your boots, your safety gear, your cell phone. You can write off. You can write off a lot of that shit, but you do not get the write-offs that I get. Right, as a W2. W2s don't get the same write-offs that we get. You do get some, but it would be it'd be minimal compared to what an owner operator would. Split my shares. Split your shares with your wife. 905. You're hilarious. You're hilarious. Road tax is very little. Split your money under 40,000. Each person pay 15%. There you go. You know what? The big screen, like a 27 on the inside of a truck, is not that big.
I'm a cockatiel.
It's not that big.
Ryan, what do those tax write-offs look like? Out of curiosity.
They look about this big. That's what those taxes. They look about that big, man.
What do you meaning? Like as a company driver or as an owner operator?
But just as an owner operator in general, like what is the government allowing you to write off in general that allows you to, grow your company or help you as the owner operator yourself versus like a company driver. The only thing you got to worry about is going if you're with a good company going from point to
I think this guy's sitting on the toilet too. You got a fan in your bathroom?
Up there, please. My phone is gonna die.
Oh shit. We're losing them. Oh shit. What a trip. Thank God I didn't take acid tonight.
I think this guy's sitting on it too.
He's just gonna leave us like that? Are you on the toilet? You, right
No, he's
down
not
here.
on the fucking toilet.
Who, me?
Robin, shut up for a minute.
That's my spot.
Robin.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Robin, shut up. As an owner operator, we are entitled to. Now, gotta remember, truck drivers.
Are you on the
We don't fall into the same classifications as a lot of other businesses. Okay. So what are we allowed to write off? We're allowed to write off just about anything, 100% of anything that has to do with the operation of our business. Okay. So whereas you as a company driver, like I said, you're allowed to write off your cell phone, your work boots, your work clothes, anything you need to do your job. Me as an owner operator, I'm allowed to write off anything that pertains me running my business. So I can write off everything from fuel, just about anything. I can write off like all of my, like you as well. You're allowed to write off your meals, right? I hope you know that.
Yeah.
You're allowed to write off your meals. But anything that anything I purchase or do that helps work the business is a write-off for me. Everything. And we need them because when you think about it, my truck in the span of a year is going to generate $280,000 to $290,000. You think I want to pay fucking tax on that?
Yeah.
right? Whereas you as a company driver, you're going to make what? 60, 70, maybe 75, 80,000 bucks. The tax on that is right. So I myself personally, I get the bigger write-offs as an owner operator. Robin, you're such a dirty hoe.
Yeah, I am a dirty hoe. Do you see how dirty that thing was? Fuck, it was just mashed straight up. I was planting onions the other day. They said it was too late, but they can go fuck themselves.
Also, Ed, earlier.
Yeah, I have a dirty hoe.
Yeah, or I'm not.
You awake, babe?
Holy shit! Hold on, I gotta see this.
You want your phone?
They make us sign up for per diem at orientation. That prevents us from writing off taxes at W-2. Trucker girl, you talking about your meals? The per diem per meals?
Yeah, for meals.
Per diem. What is that? 180 bucks?
No, it's 20,
Well, I guess it depends on where you work, eh?
It's $23 a meal, 3 meals a day. So it's 60 for us in Canada. It's $69 a day. And if
you should come to the skankiest fucking hotel in Brandon. You get breakfast for $5.
Well,
flat,
that's right.
$5 cash. But you might have to fight an Indian on the way out.
Let's say it.
I don't think
You should come to
trucker guy. I don't think we're allowed to do that in Canada.
and you get
I don't think
What,
they're
fight
allowed to make
Indians?
you- I don't think they're allowed to make you sign off on that.
You might have to fight an Indian on the way out.
Why am I delayed on here?
Yeah, I can hear it through someone else.
Yeah, one of you guys, I can hear the delay
Yeah,
on
There's
whichever
a
you're playing.
delay on there.
Is that you, Robin?
Fight Indian.
No, it's not me.
I say it. It ain't me. I can hear you just fine.
How about me?
No, you're good.
Oh,
Coming in clear.
Oh well. One of you guys, I can.
whoa, something's going on here. It's not just
Yeah, I can hear that
me,
too.
it's everyone.
I don't think.
Because I'm on headset, so it can't be.
Yeah.
I just.
So yeah, there
I-
it is. Trucker gal, she gets $480 a week. So I'm allowed $69 a day for every day that I work. But the for me, I'm allowed $23 a meal. But if I'm in the States, I can claim $23 American dollars. But if I'm in Canada, I can only claim $23 Canadian. And we have to hand in our logbooks when we do our taxes, so we can show that what days we were in Canada and what days we were in the States. So what is it? Yeah. And then they do the exchange on it, which really sucks. Well, it does because, I'd rather have all American dollars.
I'll just say you're gonna lose money. Will you lose money on that when they do?
Well,
like,
you do. You do if you're a Canadian only driver and you're only getting $23 a day or $23 a meal, so $69 a day Canadian. Yeah, because let's face it, I go to the States. Let's just say in the span of a week, I got a 6-day work week. I guarantee you, 4 of them, I'm in the U.S. So
Right.
on those 4 days, my $69 is in U.S. funds. That's good for me, right?
Right.
The other 2 days are in Canadian funds. Okay, so I take a bit of a loss, but it's not really a loss, right? It's Canadian, but I'd rather make the American.
the
because
food in the
63
States is a lot cheaper too, eh? Like, so
Well, to
yeah,
eat
you're
in the
making more
States, yeah,
money. And
Dude, I don't eat. I don't eat at restaurants when I'm working.
I don't
I don't-
fucking
I
eat.
don't-
I
I don't
live on
go-
a liquid diet, beef and
No.
barley.
I eat out of my truck. I eat,
You
I
stock up
make my own
properly.
meals.
You can get that per diem and stack it up and just set it aside if you stock up properly. At least that's
Beef and barley.
that's how I used to do it.
Well, that's how I do it. Okay, everything.
That's how I
gets,
keep this skinny figure.
all my meals get prepared for me for the week, and everything goes into the fridge. And
Thank you,
I
Dar.
I eat out of the truck. I take the per diem. I claim
Right.
those meals because I'm legally allowed. It's not like it was years ago, like 10 years ago. We used to have to produce receipts. Every time you went to the restaurant and had a meal, you had to produce a receipt and prove that's what you ate. Now they just give it to you, right? It's just a given.
Do you want me to produce what I shit after?
No, we're good, thanks. We're working. We're doing fine on that.
I don't know. Some of these rules just don't make any sense. Like, I'm an inspector, and it fucking sucks. Like, trying to deal with some of these people. Like, they're just retarded. They're absolutely retarded. And it's common sense shit. But like, hello, you know, it. And sometimes I feel like I'm stoned at the job site, and I haven't smoked anything yet. I get there, and it's like, are all you guys high? Like, you guys are fucking retarded.
Oh, I think we lost somebody.
Yeah. Brian, I got a question.
Are you thinking of becoming an owner operator or a lease op? What are you thinking of doing here?
Get there and it's like, are all you guys high?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I've spent since literally from the time I've gone in to the trucking industry up until literally when I've joined the video and I've been asking these questions. I'm constantly doing research because at the end of the day, I want to own my own truck, but I'm also not one of these guys to take a raw deal and just, like you said earlier, be, I'm grateful for, thank you for giving me my own truck. Cause I'm not, at the end of the day, I've got my own to take care of. Two, I also, I like to get home at a decent time and not have to worry about, how about sacrificing profits or anything, just to go home and say hi to my I've got my 4-week-old son here. So I'm constantly trying to figure out how, what's the best option and all that. And that's why I was asking earlier too, what do you think about the future of the trucking industry? Because if it's just not, what's the right word? Good for owner operators, that's just something I'm not going to consider doing, from here on out. And as someone with, all this time in the industry, that's why I'm curious to see what your opinion on it is, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But to answer your question, yes, I am curious about it, but I'm not. I still got another 4 or 5 years before I even make a jump like that. Have the capital set aside for it.
Okay. This is what I'm gonna say to you. If this let's just say you've got a 5-year, let's just say a 5-year plan, right? Okay, so we'll work with a 5-year plan. If you're looking at coming in 5 years, first of all, I can't give you what the industry is going to be like in 5 years. I can only tell you what we're doing now. Start banking money. I mean, and I don't mean banking like 1,000 here or 500 there. Start banking money. If you're going to come into this business, say 5 years from now, it's already right now, it's $260,000 for a new truck.
Brand new truck.
Right. So even if you're going into the used market, you're still going to be into a couple $100,000 in a few years from now. Come in with as much cash as you can and put as big a down payment as you absolutely can down on that truck.
Well, because I've seen that as well. From the research I've done, even the guys who are, I guess, more lenient on that are saying if you don't have at least 40 or 50K off the bat, just for the down payment of the truck, you're
Hey, Brian, check your email right now.
I absolutely stand behind that and agree with that. Okay.
Yeah, and that's
if you don't have $40,000, let's just say, let's pull a number. Let's say you're buying a used truck, a 2018. You're looking at $140,000. If you don't have a minimum of $40,000 to $50,000 to put down on that, you're fucked.
Well, so that's what I'm curious about too, though. Is it just from the amount of expenses that you have to? Because I did, like I said, I did some research. I know it's just for the stickers, the registration, just to put fuel in the tank and everything alone, just to get that truck even out the door of, like, let's say a dealer, or even if you're doing it with a company, it's just expensive. But what are the figures, realistically speaking, in terms of, like, you got the 40-50K at the door just for the truck alone. You got all the registration you got to do. The fuel. I mean, what are we looking at here? You know, is it anywhere about from between that 40 mark? Is it up to 60 at that point? 80
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah. You're honestly sitting somewhere. If you put 40 grand down on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, it also depends on how good a negotiator you are and the company you're working with. A lot of the fees, like you got to remember, it's like buying a fucking car, right? You go in and buy a fucking car. There's always going to be, oh, well, now there's an administration fee, right? It's the same in trucking. They're going to slap you with a bunch of fees. A lot of that can be worked around. But if you're going to put 40 grand down on the truck, I would suggest you have about 65 grand available. Okay. Because you're going to put 40 grand down on the truck. You're going to put another $2,000 worth of fuel. You might have to pay for your stickers, your decals, and your plates up front, whatever. Okay. PRP plates in Ontario, which are good for like North America, right? PRP plates. Those are $3,500 a year. $3,500, and then you don't pay that off monthly. You pay that up front. They want their money in cash, right? So you put your 40 grand down. You got your plates, your stickers, your decals, a lot of companies, they charge you to install the fucking e-logs. All in, you want about 60 grand because you don't know. You just don't know. You could drive that truck off the lot. You could drive it 70 miles down the fucking road. Or that's not a good example. Let's say you've driven it now for 3 months. That check engine light comes on. You drop a valve, and now you're into a new motor. There's 30-40 grand.
Let's say 40 grand out the door minimum.
I put a new motor in the Volvo. That was $42,000, and you have to stroke the check for that, right? You have to have that. Otherwise, your truck just sits there. The dealership doesn't give a flying fart, right? They don't care. You better have the money, so you better be able to stroke the check for that, or your truck just sits there.
So that's why I'm at the end of the day, I'm also nervous about doing, because at the end of the day, those are these bigger figures. The most money I've ever had in my life, there's nowhere near the amount of that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm only 23, and so that's why I haven't jumped the gun on that yet, because I get the offers all the time. Like I was saying earlier in your video earlier today. I get, I had an offer from Roadrunner. I had one from JV Hunt. When I worked that was the company I originally worked for when I first got in the industry with Schneider. They wanted me to do the whole lease out owner operator bullshit they had going on. And that's why I get curious and ask about this. Because like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not going to take a raw deal. I don't care how good it sounds. At the end of the day, there's always what's the
Trav, if it sounds too good to be true, it is.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Okay.
And
in this business, they're going to dress it up for you. They really are. A lot of companies are going to dress it up for you and tell you you're going to be a fucking millionaire, and you're going to be, you're going to make this, and you're going to put this in your bank, and you're going to have two pickup trucks and a boat and on a lake, and at the end of the day, they will dress that up. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. The best piece of advice I can give you is research the shit out of it. Ask 1,000 fucking questions. Okay. This is my sixth or seventh truck that I've owned, and I still ask questions. I'm not afraid to ask a question to anybody, whether it be somebody that's been doing it longer than me, or whether I'm dealing with a leasing company, or whether I'm dealing with a company executive, whoever I'm signing on with. Ask questions. Because the day is going to come, the question you had in your head that you were going, fuck, I should have asked that question, is going to fucking bite you in the ass.
That's 100% true, Brian. That's 100% true, because it's happened to me more than once.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's why I think too, a lot of the guys coming in, myself included, need to start asking these questions. And I wish more, what's the right word here? More available. The whole reason I got into your channel in the first place, back when you were over at ET, when you were doing your videos there, you seemed, like I said, you seem like a knowledgeable dude. You can't find this information anywhere. And that's what I think is the biggest problem too with that, is that, like I said, it's a lot easier to go to a company like Schneider. They tell you, oh, come do a year with us and we can get you'll be in your own truck. and you have none of this information widely, and maybe not wildly available, but it's still, I had to dig just to find your channel alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think one of the problems in our industry, whether it be Canada or the US, it's the same problem, is there's not enough information. And I think it's a shame, because I think that companies like Schneider, Swift, or in Canada, like Bison or Transex, I think they'd be doing themselves a favor when they had guys like you that are company drivers and you want to make the jump to be an owner operator. It would actually be in their interest to have like a course or something set up for guys like you that are making that transition from one to the other. You know, give them a business plan, help them with their help the new guy with his business plan, help him get set up, help him, show him the ropes. This is the best way to do this, without trying to get something in return for the big company. But because by helping a guy like you, I'm going to help myself if I own a big company, right? I'm not going to have a high turnover rate, because the success rate in Canada right now is only 30% for owner operators.
Jeez.
30%. But that's not because people are stupid. It's not. Okay, it's because they just don't have the knowledge and the know-how to come into the business and do it smartly. Now, I think those big companies, if they were willing to like freely open up and say, okay, here's a couple of business plans. Why don't you look through them and see what you think? Will either of these work for you? And then guide you through it. It's better for the big company, because they won't have the turnover. They won't have guys coming in and 6 months later cashing it, handing in their plates and their keys and going, I'm done. I can't do this.
Well, the reason I do that is because I do a lot of, there's a lot of forums that I'm a part of. And I think of somebody, like, I'm not going to say all, but some of these bigger carriers, not the mega carriers, but some of these bigger ones make more money in the long run of doing that, handing a guy keys in the truck and then just billing him every single cent, and trying to keep, while he's trying to keep himself afloat versus, well, my point is I feel like that they make more money doing that versus, the actual trucking portion of what we do. If that
okay. You picked off something very good. And that's a very good point. A lot of the larger companies, what they'll do is, I'll just use myself as an example. Now, this doesn't happen, but I'll just use myself as an example. Let's just say I've got my truck. I'm with a big company, Schneider or fucking Transex, whatever. Now, let's just say I have a couple of bad weeks. I don't make very much money. Check engine light comes on. I get hit with a $5,000, $6,000. Now, the company, most of them will pick up the tab for you. Now you're in their debt. You see where I'm going with this?
Right.
Now you're in their debt. You'll never dig your way out. And as long as you're in debt to them, they're going to hold you there. You're probably going to stay there, because you can't, if you fuck off and leave, they're going to keep every penny they owe you. And then they're going to come after you for what they owe you. So, you got to stay there. Right. And a lot of companies will do that. They're willing to finance you. You drop the trans out of your truck, your $15,000, they'll cover that for you. If it's a big enough company, they can stroke that check. But then you're going to pay off that $15,000, and there's going to be an interest fee on it. There's going to be a service fee for whatever.
Well,
usually it's interest.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, where they rack up the money just from charging all the.
Right. So you're going to work your ass off, making as many miles as you can, which is making them money. But you're not doing it because you want to pay them back, or you're not doing it because you want to make them money. You're doing it because you're trying to pay them back. It's a win-win for them. At the end of the day, it's a win-win for them. That's why I say, always try to keep a minimum of, $15,000 to $20,000 in the bank. Like once you've got once you're running and you're working and you're going, try to keep a minimum balance of 15 to 20 grand, because if something happens and you're in North Carolina and you're 1,000 miles from home, and the trucking company's got to bail you out, you're fucked. If you can bail yourself out, you're in a much better position. You're not tied to that company. You're not tied to anybody. Always try to keep money in the bank at all times. And I'm not saying that I've always been able to do that. I haven't. There's been times, bro, where my bank account has had $200 in it. Do you know how fucking scary it is to be driving around out there? You know, you've got a couple $100,000 worth of equipment. You've got, you know, your livelihood, your family, everything's on the line, and you've got $200 in the bank. That check end, you know, you're one check engine light away from disaster. That's a scary fucking feeling, and I've been there. I've been there.
So what do you do at that point?
How do you think I feel right now, Brian?
Are you a religious man? Do you pray?
Or right. Good for
What do you do? You'd be very cautious. You'd be very cautious. And unfortunately, what happens is a lot of guys, something like that happens, they start letting the little things on their truck go because, okay, you know, I need an oil change. Well, I can stretch it another 5,000, 7,000, 10,000 miles. Or, you know, I need something done to the truck. It's only a couple $1,000. Oh, I'll keep putting that off. But then next thing you know, you've got 5 things that you've been putting off and something happens and you got a $20,000 bill and you're bankrupt. You're bankrupt. It's unfortunate. So again, it all ties back to, if you're coming into the business, make sure you've got your down payment, whatever your truck costs, make sure you've got a hefty down payment. And then after your payment and all of your fees, and you've got the truck out, the fuel in the truck, and you've got it out the door, make sure you got 20 grand sitting in the bank, and make sure you've got nothing to do with it. It's just sitting there with nothing. It's nothing. It's not accounted for anything.
Britt wants to come in on the chat.
Yeah, put the link.
I just did.
Big dog, you think so? Gentlemen, Pneumatic Brit, yeah, the link is up there, bro. Come on in. Big dog, you think it's not profitable? You think it stopped being profitable 15 years ago? I don't know if I can agree with that 100%. I really don't.
You're profitable, but in a different way.
Yeah.
I say it just depends on what you're doing.
Because you're trying
also all
to
depends
be
on what you
profitable
call-
on fuel by getting your best mileage, running a fuel efficient trucks.
I also think it also depends on what you consider profitable. What's your version of what you think is profitable? How we doing tonight, Brett?
I'm not too bad, thank you. First of all, thank you for letting me come on your channel this evening. Thank you.
No problem.
Now, all I want to state is my situation in this transport industry at the moment. Came here in 2008. Didn't realize about different things with options in this country. So I did 6 months as a company driver. Then I went on to Schneider Tanker, lease op for till now. Because I had no credit rating and nothing. That's why I had to go through that whole system. Because I forget my age, even though I'm an old decrepit. Anyway, but I had to come through it and do what I do. I wasn't here to take an American's job, whatever, you know. And I've seen so many different things in the last few years. I went through that whole lease program, paid the truck off, did my whole thing, and I do very well with these guys at the moment. Don't see any change. I'm good to go. I teach a lot of contractors that come on because when I came on, there was no help. You know, we were thrown out there and you know, just get on with it.
Well, we all were. Back then, we all were.
Right, but contractors coming on now with Schneider. I say to any SFI people, they always notify me there's got a new contractor coming on, and I try to help these guys because it's all about, you know, we all got to look after each other, we all got to make money and whatever, you know. And most of them do well. I run hard. When I go out, I basically don't come back. I go out for about 4 or 5 weeks. That's just the way I was in England. You know, you just run,
right,
and you run. You know, and I work in the most profitable manner. I'm the highest earner on the tanker drivers. I get it because I work out figures and stuff like that, and I try to pass that on to new guys coming in so they can miss that 3 to 6 months of stupidity that I had to deal with. You know,
Absolutely.
but it's hard. You know, the new guys coming on. Anybody that follows me on my YouTube channel, gradedly, I'm Schneider. It's the only company I've ever worked for because I'm sure all these companies are worse, you know, no different than each other, you know?
No.
They got their pluses, they got their zeros, you know, whatever. And it's worked for me for God knows how many years. But we're in challenging times, you know, and it's going to get a lot worse out there. I don't care what your television and your stuff that says that whatever, we're in challenging times. It's going to get a lot worse, you know? Let's just try and look after people, you know, let's try and help people.
Absolutely.
It just pisses me off that people, and excuse the French, sorry chaps, it kind of teases me off that you go out there and people take the mick out of people because they can't do this, they can't do that. It's horrible. Try and help these people, you know, because the problem is, you know, Schneider that I contract to is a lot of these mega companies, you know, I granted it's only 5% of the industry, but that's a lot of people. And we all sit there and we take the mick out of these guys and stuff like that. We don't need to be doing that. We need, you know, they're throwing out here. We need to try and help them, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really agree. First of all, I follow you on your channel. I found you through Best.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
No problem, man. I really like what you say. I like the way you think. I do 100% agree with you. Like, it is not the same as it was, say, 20 years, whatever. When we came into this, we were thrown to the wolves. It was find your own way. It was you know,
right.
Learn as you earn. And that's a very expensive way to do it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, much like yourself, if you look on your screen, that guy sitting beside you is Zach.
I can't see which one is Zach. Sorry, sir.
All right. Well, the guy there is Zach. He's got his hand up.
Okay.
I work with Zach. I work with a bunch of other guys coming into the business that are making the transition, and I agree with you, 100%. Now, I don't do it on the level that you're doing it with Schneider, but I do agree, and I think that we raise our success rate when we're willing to freely give the information that, say, guys like you and I learned the hard way.
Right.
We give it to them freely and say, hey, listen, I'll give you the don'ts. These are the things that I did that do not work. I'll give that to you. You know what? You can come up with the do's, and I'll even help you with that. And I think it helps all around. It helps the entire industry. It's a win-win for the industry when you've got guys out here that know, or at least have the education. I said earlier, there's the difference between the trucking business and the business of trucking. Anybody can do the trucking business. It's driving shit from A to B and delivering. The business of trucking is all of the stuff that comes in the background that we do, that we operate our businesses, where the new guys make the biggest mistakes, and they don't make it the first year. They're handing in their plates and they're losing their house and their dog and whatever.
And that's exactly why I'm so scared to do it, because I got out of service, and they told me now, you're not going to make it. So I have forethought and a significant decision on something like getting a new truck, and that's why I'm asking these questions, because I'd like to own my own truck one day, but all the failures, all of the stories, you know, you go on any forum online, and they say it all the time. Stay away from it. Go company. Especially right now with how expensive fuel is. Diesel, I think in Texas right now, it was $5.50. I think it is per gallon.
$5.50. If you can get it for $5.50 right now, you're having a good day, bro.
That's exactly
what
blows my mind.
What did you pay for fuel today?
Me?
Brett, what did you pay for fuel today? Did you fuel your truck today?
I've been off. No, with regard, obviously Schneider gives us a discount. We get 50 cents off of. If you look at Pilot Flying J, that cash price, we get 50 cents off that gallon price.
Okay.
So we get we get a significant discount. I'm down at the moment. My truck's been down for a few weeks. It is what it is. You know, it's a part of the industry.
I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
It is what it is because it happens to all trucks. Anybody that thinks they got an impregnable
There you
truck,
go, Blackhawk.
Yeah.
All I want to say to everybody listening to this is that if somebody like me, starting from ground zero, can come out, we can make it. This is tough times. I started in 2015, and I was okay. You know, with tanker, it's a little bit different. It's different than dry van, it's different than flatbed, it's different than reefer, whatever. You know, we're in a different type of thing. All I will say to people is, you know, don't be disheartened. Don't think that, you know, the world's against you. Just get into somewhere where you can learn the trade. And I have no problem, like I say, helping the contractors that come onto us. I don't give up my driver number because my knowledge is free. I don't believe in all that stuff where you got to give out your driver and get,
that's fair.
because people are going to say stuff that you want to hear, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And it ain't right, you know. And I'll tell you from my experience, that's what my thing is based on. It's tough out here, you know. Anybody that's been out for a long time, I've been out here now for crikey, 9 years with Schneider. This is the weirdest time I've ever come across. You got fuel prices at astronomical prices, rates, even on tanker rates generally are a bit better than the rest, but even our rates are getting a bit weird. It's a challenge, you know. I don't want to pick people off coming into it, but this is a very hard time. It's very different. I don't want to tell people. People come out, like I say, even with signing on to Schneider, I've had a couple of people tell me, "Oh, this is not what I was expected," and I try to help them, but I can only help what I can do. I can't save these people, you know. If they can't, if the heart's not in it, it's not going to work, you know.
Right. One thing that we say is I'll give you everything I've got. And this is something that's happened to me recently, and it's happened to me with two different guys. I've gone to the wall with them, helped them, gone through their entire business program. I mean, taking significant time of my off time. Like, I'm only home for 2 days, and then I'm back out. And if I'm going to take up 8, 9, 10 hours of my day going through your business and working with your business, and then you're asking me for your help, and I give it to you, and then 3 months later you're calling me back going, it's not working, I'm broke, I can't do this. And I say to you, well, did you do this? And you go, no. Did you do this? And you go, no. Well, all of the things that we discussed to try to tweak and change or help you, you're not doing any of it. I'm wasting my breath. So
that's exactly
one of the problems I've got, because I've got guys like Zach who took every suggestion I made, even at expense to himself. He went out and made a lot of the changes. He had to change a couple things on his truck and the way he did business, and it worked for him, and he's successful. And these other guys, they want to waste your time. Now, I don't like that. I'm not giving you my time for free if you come back to me after a second or third time and it's not working because you just don't want to do it.
That's exactly what I've gone through. I've got one of my contractors. God, I say one of my contractors. One of Schneider's contractors that he put onto me.
When prices were the good days.
No, but Taylor, one of the guys that's worked, you know, and listened to everything I've said. That guy's done great guns. The other guys, I told them the same thing, but no, they've got to be home every weekend. They've got to do it. Don't come out of that mindset that you're going to be home every weekend because I don't do this, I do that. Don't even sign the dotted line. If you're going to get into stuff like that, forget it, because you're going to get yourself in a whole world of hurt really quick.
Right.
And that's my biggest problem that I've come across, you know.
I would imagine you've probably told these guys 1,000 times.
Exactly.
That when you come into this business, this isn't like working in a restaurant. This isn't like working in an office. This isn't. You need a specific mindset. You need a specific it's a whole different. This is a whole different animal.
That's
business.
the word. That's the word. Mindset.
It is, and you
people
need to be in that
appreciate.
mindset to do this. You can't just come in this thinking, I'm going to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. I'm going to do my 45 hours. I'm going to cash out on Friday and go home for the weekend. It doesn't work like that, bro.
No, it doesn't.
You know, I've got 5 daughters. My wife and I have raised 5 daughters from age, and right now their age is 30 down to 20. Do you want to know how many birthdays that I've been home for? I can
Probably lucky if you hit 2.
I can count them on one hand.
Right, that's
5.
what I'm saying.
You know, you need to have the mindset that this industry almost has to come first in order for you to be successful, to be able to support your family.
Yeah, because that's your bread and butter at the end of the day.
It is.
And, whichever way you come into this country, and like I say, I'm a foreigner, but I know that my wife and family, that's my priority in life, you know, and I do what I got to do. It's just, I don't know, the mindset here is a little bit different than it is in England. I can't speak for the rest of the world, but your mindset here is a little bit different in England. I was brought up to work, you know, and that's what it is. You work, you look after your family. It's a simple psychology, you know.
Yeah, I'm Canadian, but we were.
But you still borrow our queen.
What's that?
You still borrow our queen.
Yeah, well, hey. But my brother and I were raised the same way. You know, we were raised with a work ethic.
That's
unfortunately,
the word. Work ethic.
Unfortunately, at times you can even ask my wife. I have a problem differentiating the difference between, you know, once I'm in work mode, certain other things become secondary, and sometimes they shouldn't. Right? There are priorities that even in our business that we should have.
Right.
That sometimes I'm a little too driven. Now, in the last couple of years, I've been able to back some of that off, and I've been able to take a little more time and relax and everything. But if you're new coming into this business, you literally have to know for the first 5 years, you're going to be going balls to the wall.
That's what I think a lot of people don't get. They sign the dotted line for these lease purchases and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go home every weekend and stuff like that. No, it's not. You're going to work your ass off until you perfect a time. And like I say, I've got a couple of contractors that I'm working with that one of them wants to be home every weekend, stuff out, and I'm wasting my breath. Another guy, it's like, you know, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. There's no such thing as don't.
Right.
You just got to work with what you're going to work with, you know.
Absolutely.
And there's a very fine line between work and balance, and you got to figure that fine line out. Because even in today's market, money is actually more in the short hauls, like what Brian and I do, going to Jersey, Pennsylvania all 6 days of the week. We only get 36 hours off. And the rest of the time it's go, go, go. And I used to drive long haul, and the money's not there anymore in long haul. It's not, because the company I was at, they were charging full pop for fuel surcharge, and I almost went broke. And that's why I asked Brian for help, because I realized I had to need help from somebody that knew what they were doing, because obviously what I was doing wasn't working.
Right. But with regard to, like, you know, you're covering certain areas, is that we all know it's challenging out there.
Absolutely.
And somehow you've got to adapt. Like I say, I go into places I can't stand, but it ain't about me. It's about what I've got to do to make that business profitable.
Yeah.
And like I say, tanker is probably different than flatbed's different than dry van's different than reefer.
Agreed.
I can't speak for the rest of the industry. I'm a tanker driver. And even my concept is very different. Seeing what's happening at the moment and what I can do, and on Schneider we pick our loads, so I pre-plan myself generally 7 days ahead, and I will put myself into areas that are dead, because one thing I tell everybody is know your industry. If you
Yes.
don't know your industry, you're so screwed. Just, grab yourself a book, write down different areas you've been to, when do loads come up, what volume comes up, stuff like that. Granted, I pick up from the Schneider choice board, but you're all going to work relatively within the same sort of thing. You're going to pick up from the DAT board, whatever. But you should know, you should pre-plan yourself to be in areas that everybody else is thinking, oh, why would I need to be in there? Because it's a bloody good area why you should be in there.
Right.
Because know your industry. If you don't know your industry, you really shouldn't be here, because tough times are coming. And they are here, and they're going to get a lot worse. If you don't know your industry, I don't know what to tell you,
It's not just your industry, and I agree with you 100%. I was with Mercer, so it's along the same lines. Okay,
right,
It's
okay.
a Schneider. I could take loads off anywhere I wanted to, but had to run them through a Mercer, or I would run the broker. But I didn't have a dispatcher; I was dispatching myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just your industry, and I tell the guys the same thing, and I've been told this by many guys that have been doing this longer than me. Know your numbers.
Exactly.
Know your fucking numbers. And I don't mean, okay, yeah, I know how many miles per gallon my truck gets. If that's all you know, give me your keys and walk away. Get the fuck out.
Right.
Okay? You need to know how many cents per mile your truck is generating, how many cents per mile you're making, how many cents per mile it's costing you, you need to know all those. Every time your wheel turns, you need to know your cost factoring, your profit factor, all of those factors need to be, and you need to know how to calculate all these, and you need to be able to do this. And that's not my opinion. Okay, that's a fact. If you, like I said, in Canada, our success rate for owner operators, Britt, is 30%. I mean, 7 out of 10 guys fucking fail up here.
Wow.
That's a big turnover, bro. I don't know what your numbers are in the States. I would imagine your population being 10 times ours is probably a little higher, but it's a tough business. And if you don't know these things, or if you don't have somebody else that knows that can either share this information with you, because the trucking company's not going to give it to you.
Right.
The leasing company's not going to give it to you.
I know that's why you can get like Schneider sent to me. Can you help this contractor? Can you help that contractor? I can help any contractor that wants to succeed. And the
but
normal thing is,
you said it. They have to want to succeed.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's exactly why I asked you a question, because I feel like a lot of guys get into the industry, they start making good money. They don't decide. That's what I think happens. Spending money aside, they start making good money. Like what happened with you, Brian, or their clothes, or just something like that. They either whatever company they're with, or they just don't have money that they have to put their truck in start from ground zero.
Right. What another big problem that we have is that I see this all the time is the new guys come in and they get themselves set up and they start running, and they get they're making these big pay periods, right? They're making these big statements. Next thing you know, they've got a nice pickup truck in the driveway. They've got $70,000 worth of chrome slapped on their truck. They've got a boat in the lake. They've got a cottage, and it's like, are you out of your fucking mind? What are you doing? Just because the money is there for you to use, and then they've got all of this, and say 7 months later, they drop the motor out of their truck and they can't afford to fix it. That is a huge problem right now. It really is. Guys don't know the value of that dollar, and they don't know how to keep that dollar for when they're going to need it, because just a 30-second check engine light can cost you $30,000, and guys don't realize that.
Right. Okay. Anybody watching this? Let me just help you at the moment. For the last 5 weeks, my truck's been down. Last year was a big year. I put 35,000 in my truck last year. It is what it is. This year I'm 20,000 in. But in the last 4 weeks, I put $13,500 in. You're in an industry that has got big money payouts. Don't think that you can make big money coming in, because you better hope to God you got big money coming out. because every truck breaks down. It's not just my truck. It's not just it's everybody's truck breaks down at some stage. And
It's not a matter of if you're going to break down. It's a matter of when.
that.
Right. And people say to me, "Oh God, is that going to finish you?" No, it's not, because I've prepared. Because
Right.
if you've got a proper business mindset, you know, you're going to look after your business, because that business is your that's your future. You know, if you're the guy that's going to take out every money and think that truck's not going to break down, yeah, you really don't want to be in this industry.
Absolutely.
And like I say, I've just dealt with it because I run hard on my truck. It's a 2016 Cascadia. Yeah, everybody might say it's a Cascadia. Whatever. To me, it's a steering wheel and four wheels. That's what makes my business. I'm not in here for Chrome because Chrome don't pay. But it's a 2016. I put over 1 million miles on it because when I come out here, I run hard. I don't mess around. I'm not here to sit at truck stops to watch the world go by. That's not the way I run my business. Granted, I'm the most profitable company on Schneider's tanker division because that's how I run. But I pass that. I pass that on to the, guys coming in. If they don't want to do what I do, that's on them.
Yeah.
And I just pass it on. Like I say. But anybody coming here, don't think you can just take out your truck because it needs to give at some stage.
Absolutely.
Because trucks break down, and people don't seem to realize that the trucks do break down. They all do,
Like I
Most
said,
valuable.
it's not a matter of
is
if your truck's going to break down. It's a matter of when. It is eventually going to happen. It's happened to us all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I find the most valuable thing too, Brian, is routine maintenance, preventative maintenance, catching things before they break is everything to prevent major breakdowns. Because if you can catch a small thing and it only costs you a few bucks to fix, you might have just prevented that big engine overheating or, a rad going in that could cost millions. It could blow your engine. It could blow everything to smithereens. So if you're catching that one small thing, it might prevent 3-4 big things.
Zach, I agree with you 100%. Okay, preventative maintenance is a high part of what we do, but there's always, and I'm sure Britt can back this up. There's always that one time, and for example, for me with the Volvo, I had no warning. I blew the motor, grenaded the motor out of that truck, and there was nothing I could do with it. I cracked a valve. That's a $42,000 engine replacement right there. Right there. And there's no preventative maintenance could have saved me on that. Nothing. That was just one of those things.
See, that's my take on my Cascadia, that I know she's going to break. It's a matter of time. It's about $25,000 to have that engine rebuilt. Not a problem. But I know I'm going to break her at some stage. At the moment, because I do my own oil changes, I do a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
Because I would rather spend constructive money on a proper thing that I can't deal with, like a gearbox change like I had last year, stuff like that.
Right.
But the silly stuff I deal myself, which means that I'm putting more value into my truck. But with regard to young Zach, who's in here, it just happens to all trucks. Don't think that you're bomb-proof. That the life is going your way at the moment, and that's brilliant. If it's going your way, fantastic. But trust me, some curveball is going to come around the corner and screw you up. Prepare.
It's inevitable.
Prepare for that problem. Not like the normal stuff, because it happens. Like I say, I've been down nearly 5 weeks. 5 weeks would normally bust people, but to me, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm good to go. But prepare for that worst case scenario, because it's going to come your way at some stage.
Eventually.
Oh, most definitely. I totally 100% agree. I mean, I'm just saying, the more preventive maintenance you do, the less likely something's gonna. I mean, there are things like you said, Brian. There's no way you could have prevented that valve from breaking. I agree with that 100%. but compared to somebody like, I mean, I've driven enough company trucks, and I'm sure you have too. And you pop a hood on a company truck, and the engine's dirty. You can't see anything. It's all grease and oil. How are you supposed to see like a bad gasket in that?
I'll tell you
Can't.
what, Zach. I'll tell you what, Zach. Here's the question: what happens if your engine screwed up tomorrow? What would you do?
If my engine were to screw up tomorrow,
Blow pistons in the head. Do you have financially? Are you sound? And I'm not going to get into like all sort of figures and stuff out. Within your heart, do you know that you could financially sustain a total blow up on your truck?
probably not. But
Okay.
the other thing you gotta remember is that my truck is brand new 2022 LT.
Yeah, but that's
so
my question.
I got the 3 years warranty with that for
Within
engine and
a
transmission.
Okay, but a certain amount of warranty. Also, when your truck goes down, that's lost finances. Now you
That's
could
lost
for
revenue.
1 week, 2, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. How much money would you potentially lose in that? That's going to put you in the hole. That's what I'm getting.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, but I'm not knocking you, Zach. I'm just saying that if a
No.
truck went down, there's a bigger picture here.
Yes.
Okay, you might think it's under warranty. What happens if it's not under warranty?
That's a $40,000, Zach. That's a $40,000 rebuild on your X15.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what you need to prepare for. Something that is not normal to your business.
Right.
Because you're assuming, and like I said, I'm not knocking you, young sir. I'm not going to knock anybody in this channel. That confidence. Oh, I'm behind a warranty. Not really, because a warranty is a warranty. It can be diverse. It can be whatever. But you need to prepare yourself for a catastrophic on your truck. And if you think you got 10 grand in the bank, yeah, good luck on that one, because it ain't good luck.
No.
Yeah.
What did I say earlier, guys? What did I say earlier? I said you should probably have a minimum of 20 grand.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
With nothing to do with it, just sitting there. You should have 20 grand sitting there with nothing. It's not accounted for. And that's what it's for. It's for the day when you have to stroke a check for $19,000 and you've got it. That's what it's there for.
Right.
Most definitely.
It's a cushion.
The last 4 weeks, I didn't think I was going to spend 13.5 grand, but I did.
Right.
I wasn't prepared for that, but the money's there. I'm just saying, build yourself up for a catastrophic situation, because that's the worst case scenario. But it could come to a door knocking on your station. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not negative. I'm just telling you the blunt truth,
So
honestly, that's the way I like it. When people are like yourself, Britt, are straight shooters, straight to the point. Tell it as it is. No sugarcoating.
Yeah, because that's the way I tell my contracts come on. I don't sugarcoat nothing. I tell you the way that I've seen it and the way that it is. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Big difference,
Good. My shaved pubic hair making my dick itch.
My question for y'all then, since y'all have been doing this, you guys have, you got the experience. Why do I see the like other guys have had? They say to steer clear of the newer trucks, put 80 down on an older one, be prepared to rebuild, make that one for a while, do that instead. What do you think of that?
I didn't catch that one.
Basically, he's saying he's been told to steer clear of the newer trucks and get an older one and either rebuild it but stay clear of the newer ones. Did I get that right, Travis?
Yeah, exactly.
Because a lot of the guys are seeing problems with DEF and like that system, and there's lots to go wrong. And when those systems break, they're expensive to rebuild and whatnot. And so what they're getting at is the old trucks, like your old Pete's, your old Kenworths, all that kind of stuff, they don't have that. So it's a lot easier to fix. It's still going to be expensive, but you don't have the expense of the DPF system.
Okay. Top of that, I run a 26 Cascadia. Last year, my one box system went down 16,000 for filters and a one box system and a couple of sensors. Coming along because trucks can only succeed 2 to 3 years on the DEF system, because if you take an exhaust and I'll be basic, if you take an exhaust out your ass and stick it in your mouth, that's how much blockage is. That's what's going on with these trucks. It's expensive. Would I get into owner operator now? Holy crikey, no. Leave the problem we're going on, and any guy coming in here, we're in a very unusual situation. We got rates that are starting to creep down. We got definitely fuel prices that have gone through the ceiling. I don't care that they're saying this week is coming down; they're going back up. There's a lot of people. If you're going to jump into it now, this is definitely not the situation to jump into now. If you're driving a truck, stay where you are. If you can make it work, stay where you are. Just watch what's going on in this industry. The next 12 months, it's not going to be good on us, guys, you know. But I will tell people, I'm not going to lie to people. I'm going to just tell people the way I see it. If I'm wrong, okay, you know, you believe what you want to do. But I'm seeing, after all these years of what's going on in this industry, with regard to buying a new truck now, trucks are still at slightly inflated prices. They're starting to like level out, but truck prices will come back down because everything is exacerbated. This is not the time to buy into the market. If you think when to come in, you're going to make money. I personally, and I'm speaking from me, nomadic Brit. I don't care about anybody else. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be confident coming into this market. I would just stay out of it for a minute because I think it's going to be a big carve up coming.
Too, is I've seen, because I get curious and I research this stuff. I will look online on like different pages, and I see costs of some trucks. I've seen one where it was like a 2018 Cascadia, 2020 Cascadia. It's got almost 500,000 miles on it. They want 200,000 for it. I mean,
right.
That bubble is going to burst, though.
Exactly.
That bubble is going to burst. That bubble is Britt just said, the bubble is slowly collapsing right now. Mm-hmm. A truck 3 months ago that was like, say, for example, that $200,000, that truck now is down to about 175. Mm-hmm. And the bubble is slowly coming back around. The prices do I think they're ever going to come down to what, say, quote unquote normal should be? Probably not. But are they going to come back down to where they're more affordable? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, next question too is what would you classify for?
Normal has gone right out the window, Travis. There is no fucking normal right now.
Exactly.
There's no normal. There's nothing, because we have nothing to go back and compare it to. This is a one-time thing. This is what's happening in our industry. We've had some peaks and some valleys, but we've never had a peak like this where it never came back down for as long as we've been up. And we don't have anything to go back and compare it to. Mm-hmm. What's normal? There's no fucking normal to compare it to.
Exactly. There's definitely no normality about what's going on since Christmas, and I think that we're still going to feel this weird effect till about August, and then I think we're going to take a big dive on everything. But with regard to what you're looking at, the transport industry, prices will start to come down. Fuel prices, I know they're saying they're coming down. Yeah, they are sort of, but they're still going to stay way up there till Christmas. I don't know where we go into the new year, but I know we're going to be here till Christmas.
Yeah.
The world, this economy, like I say, the world economy is not in a good state. And we are definitely not in a good state. We have so many bubbles. Housing bubble, transport bubble. There's a ton of bubbles, Like I say, if you're in a company job and you're doing okay, stay there.
I agree.
Just watch what's going on at the moment.
That's what it's doing. It's the job I got now. It's calling oversized manufactured homes. I got no interest in leaving. One, it's taking care of me really, really good financially. And two, like I said, like you guys are just saying, like right now, getting into the industry in terms of owner operator.
In terms of it right now, if you're thinking of coming in, I would say no.
Mm-hmm. That's what I say to people.
If you've got a good gig where you're at,
Mm-hmm.
stay there. You've got your benefits, you've got your, you've got a good job, and it's paying your bills. Stay where you are. What we're discussing about business and everything, it's for the guys that are already in our position, that have already been here, that are already here.
But also some of these guys, company drivers, and with all due respect, company drivers, I'm not being derogatory, but if your truck went down tomorrow, that ain't your problem. If my truck went down tomorrow, that's my problem. Getting all the parts, labor, whatever, that's a big problem. I'm just saying that I will tell people, because I want a clear conscience in life. I do have a clear conscience, and I will tell you the way that I see things,
Absolutely.
I was going to say, Freightliner I'm driving right now, if it breaks down tomorrow, I've already, got a new truck, not even a day later, if not that same day.
I envy the company guys right now.
Exactly.
You're driving a company truck and your truck breaks down. You dial 1-800, come fix my shit, and that's it. I break down on the side of the road. The phone calls I'm making are a whole lot different than the ones you are.
Yeah.
As a company guy. So if you're in a company ride and it's a reputable company, and you know what, you may lose a day, maybe two. They'll either put you into another truck or whatever. But if all you're doing is losing revenue from being down, that's more sustainable than losing revenue from being down and paying a $30,000 bill on top of that. That's like taking a kick in the dick.
It basically is.
So this is a prime example. Is last February, I was coming back up to Canada from Texas. Put in fuel in Texas, and completely forgot about that. I was driving up into the cold climate.
I remember that.
About 40 miles outside of Indianapolis City there. Gelled up. That's where she stopped. Got towed back down into Indianapolis. Got fixed. $2,000 later.
Yeah, that warranty doesn't cover that now, does it?
Nope. And I'll be honest. I have, it took me pretty well to almost just now am I catching back up from that.
Yeah, but Zach, the reason it took you so long is, and let's be honest, okay?
Yeah.
9 months ago, when you and I first started talking, we were talking about things that maybe you needed to change, and you were looking at, and you still wanted to do it your way. You wanted to run your truck at 80 miles an hour, and you wanted to have the big 550 horsepower X15 motor, and you wanted to, you wanted to be the cowboy.
Yeah.
How much money did you make as a fucking cowboy? Right, 0. Okay, so now you're a reduced cowboy. How you doing today, buddy?
Well,
you're doing a lot better. Yeah.
Can I just say something? Young trucker gal, the AB5. I'm contracted to Schneider on their. Schneider is not a small company, but they're certainly the biggest. But Schneider, with all their lawyers and stuff like that, I'm sure they're going to work out some sort of system that gets me round AB5. I don't go to California. Granted that the AB5 is going to start to be influenced in other states, but I don't think Schneider is going to be effective within reason. It's a $4-5 billion a year company. They're going to work their way around it. But, I don't take things for granted. I just know that they've got my back as I've got their back in the work that I do. But what I will say, my phone is going to die in a minute. young sir, I've come in your live tonight because I saw you in James's channel. I will be back.
I appreciate that. You're welcome
it's-
anytime, brother. I'd love to hear from you.
I appreciate that. And lives is good to talk. You know, if you're going to come on here and be constructive, not a problem. And you're going to get people like that come into these channels that a lot of us are truck drivers, you know, and we're going to tell you the way that we go through and what we do. So granted, anybody that's been listening to this British guy waffling on tonight, I do what I do. I do very well for Schneider. I'm in the tanker division. I'm a contract. But I will be back. But I'm just saying, don't be completely disheartened. But this is a very tough time at the moment. Don't make silly decisions that is going to pull you under. If you're in a good position or an average position, stay there.
Absolutely.
We are not in a good position, and the next 24 months, you're going to see what's going to play out. People like me, you know, we're just going to deal with it because that's the way we roll, you know. And as long as you prepared yourself for what's coming, you'll be okay, you know. But
Britt, before you
anyway,
go, I just want to quickly ask you: you're thinking that what? We're going to float the way we're going now. What are we in? We're in July. What are you thinking? August, September, October? The bottom's going to fall out sometime around November?
I think it might slightly be before that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're even talking today that, oh, yeah, fuel prices have come down a bit. Really? Well, watch the WTI. I watch the WTI. I watch the oil futures. It's gone back up again. So, I mean, it's that ripple effect. We're in that horrible situation that, you know, and people are asking for extra monies. We're paying extra monies. Whether you're dry van, I'm tanker.
I was going to say kind of late September, early October, but I mean, what do I know?
No, it's not. No, it's not that you know what you know, sir. You know, it's how you take things in life. To me, personally, we're in a recession already. That's my personal thoughts. We're in the
you're
first
not
stages. Wrong. I'm not going to tell people how they should think or whatever, but, you know, a recession doesn't just happen. It starts to happen, and it takes 2 quarters. But to me, we're in it already. You're going to feel the impact coming about September, October, once we're through the holidays and all the good stuff, because nothing's happening. And put, you know, if you're a truck driver, try and put yourself in a niche market. I'm in a niche market. I'm a tanker driver. I deal with chemicals. And the chemical market that we're into, it doesn't get affected by recessions. Dry van is going to be the biggest affected, purely because they will transport things like that stereo that you don't need, that kitchen equipment that you don't need.
Right.
Those guys are going to, even though they move the biggest amount, they're also going to move the biggest amount that you don't need.
Correct.
If you're coming into this market, put yourself into a niche market, whether it be tanker, flatbed. I'm not so sure about reefer, but reefer would be food. So to me, that's sort of in there. I don't know.
I think the one industry, and this is just my experience, I've been an owner-operator 19 years, and I've been doing this longer than that. I think the one niche industry is the one that you're in right now. It's the one that will be affected the least.
Tanker.
Oh, tankers. Flatbed would probably be second, but let's face it, when the bottom falls out, a lot of the shit that we move on flatbed is materials. Equipment.
Like house building and stuff like that.
So
but
when
not,
the bottom falls out,
that.
nobody's buying fucking houses and all of that kind of bottoms out. But you are, I agree 100% that the dry van and the reefer are going to take the biggest kick. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what I believe, like I say, and I will tell people what's going on in my mind. I like I said, with Schneider, I don't give out my driving number. I don't give out anything because I will tell you what I'm thinking, not what the dollar sign is telling you what I'm thinking.
Absolutely.
I don't believe in all that crap, you know?
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate your honesty and I appreciate your straightforwardness. Thank you.
Thank you. But chaps, I will jump in on your next live. Like I say, my phone's going to die. But I appreciate you letting me in on your live.
No problem. Pneumatic, we're doing this every Saturday night usually. So jump in.
All right. I'll catch you next Saturday and I'll have a lot more power on my phone.
All right, brother. Glad to hear from you. Thanks for piping in, bud.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What happened?
There we go. You know, if you ask me my opinion, that there was about $1 million worth of free advice. If you're a new guy or like a new guy or new girl and you're thinking of making any kind of jumps or doing anything, everything that guy did, everything that Nomadic Brit there just said, dude, take it to the bank. That was $1 million worth of free advice. Everything that he said, because you know what? I've been doing this probably as long as he has, if not longer, and I couldn't have said it better. He said it all. Absolutely.
Hey, Brian, I don't think you could even come up with all that advice between you, Jeremy, and all your other buddies.
No. You got to look at it as well that he's coming at it from a very different perspective, coming from tankers, right?
Yeah.
And he's with a big carrier. Now, I'll be honest with you. He's doing it in a way that I don't necessarily agree with, but he's being successful at it. So who the fuck am I to say anything?
Yeah.
Right. I myself personally wouldn't take a lease job with a, start out my career with a company like Schneider and take the lease and then pay the truck off. And I myself personally wouldn't do that, but he did it. He did it successfully. And and for all intents purposes, yeah, he's down right now, but for all intents purposes, he's successful. So who am I to say jack shit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
And like, I mean, in terms of doing reefer work, I mean, yes, you have, supply chain, food, and everything. But at the same time, you got to remember that there's more expenses because you got to look after that reefer motor on one of your trailer, too, along with everything else you did with the trailer and the truck mechanically.
Yeah, but if you own the truck, if you own the trailer.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like if it's a company, if you own the truck and the company owns the trailer, I really don't give too much of a concern. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna check the tires. I'm gonna do all the regular
Stuff.
pre-trip and inspection and type of shit. And I'm gonna open the reefer. I'm gonna check the oil and all the shit I'm supposed to do. But again, it falls along the lines of a company driver.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong with the reefer, I'm dialing 1-800, come fix my shit. I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. No, I realize that. But like, I'm talking from like a full out owner operator point of view where you own your own trailer, your own authorities, everything. It's like,
Absolutely.
It's not worth.
I need a plug-in dar. This thing's gonna die.
Not worth it at all.
No, I agree.
Those days of the guys that own their own trucks, complete truck and trailer with own authority, those days are way of dodo bird.
No, they're not.
Basically.
I don't agree.
Up here in Ontario,
I don't agree.
I think it would be.
I don't agree. If you're in a position right now, for example, if I wanted to become a legitimate owner operator, run my own authorities, right? Which means I'm paying the $7,900 or the $8,000 to get my own authorities, and that'll run me through all 48 states and Canada. So you're let's just round that up, say $8,000. Your $8,000 for your authorities, your $27,000 for the insurance. You're gonna be leasing a trailer, just like you do with your truck. You don't buy the trailer.
Yeah.
You can be successful, and you can run as your own authority today in today's market, in today's age, and be okay. I have a friend of mine who just did it for the last several years, and he was successful enough that he shut it down. He's the same age as I am. He shut it down and retired. He just didn't want to do it anymore. Ran 6 trucks, ran 6 or 7 trucks. He didn't retire because he had to get out of the business because he was going broke. He retired because he just didn't want to fucking do it anymore. And he'd made enough money, and he same age as me. He's done. He retired. It can be done.
I'm not saying it can't.
You need a lot more money up. You need a lot more money up front.
I'm saying it can't be done, but what I'm saying is if you're trying to do it as one single truck with no other complementary trucks to help build the accounts money wise, it's a lot more trickier because it's just one
I
truck.
agree. I will agree with that. And you got to think of it from a business standpoint, that if you're going to do something like that, you never do it with one truck, right? If one truck breaks, you're fucked. But if you've got two trucks and one breaks, you're still kind of fucked. When you do something like that, you need to do it with a minimum of 3, and you probably want to have 5. Because if you've got 3 trucks and one breaks, 2 trucks can carry 3.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if you've got 2 trucks and one breaks, 1 truck can't carry 2. So you always want to have 3 or more. And that's just the business part of it, right? So you need to make sure that if you're going to get your own authority and you're going to do something like that, yeah, you need to be able to put yourself in a position that you're going to be at least 3 trucks in worth of equipment, drivers, insurance, WSIB, accountant, because now you're talking, you're going to need a real good accountant. Unless you want to employ your wife to do your payroll and all that shit, and then you're going to have a real bitchy, grumpy wife because she's working on top of her regular fucking job.
Having to deal with you, guys.
And then, yeah, then she's got to deal with not only you, but then the drivers and then blah, blah, blah. I've been there. Okay.
Yeah.
I've done it. I've had drivers working for me. I've been there, right? There's nothing worse than having your driver call your wife and then your wife calls you. And then your driver calls you and I got to listen to fucking both of them. I'd rather put a gun to my head and blow my brains out on I-90, right? I'm not interested in that.
Yeah, no, I totally understand it. I was just kind of like, because one of my part of my dreams is to, have a complete truck and trailer and have it look nice and doing that longer stuff, but if the reality part of it's not there anymore, it's not really
Zach,
all that endeavor.
Zach, for what you and I do, forget the dream of ever doing long shit.
Exactly.
Okay, if you're gonna run your own authority, or you're gonna be picking your own loads, man, you want to keep them to 400 miles. You want to go down and back, down and back, down and back, down and back, down and back. Because here's an example, and these aren't real true numbers of what these rates are, but I'm just going to use this as an example. Okay, you say a trip from here to Texas. Let's just say the rate. I'm just going to say it, I know it's ridiculous, but let's say it's $2,000.
Yeah.
But it's going to take you all week to go from here to Texas and back. So you're going to get $2,000 down. You're going to get $2,000 back. So you've made $4,000 on your week.
Yeah.
Now you're going to go from here. Then you're going to do, if you trade that up and you do the short stuff, you can go from here down to Jersey and back. That's 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
That's going to pay you $1,500, and you can do that 4 times in a week. Right?
Yeah.
Instead of making $4,000, you've made $6,000, and you've done another 1,000 miles less mileage on your truck.
Exactly.
On a business sense, what makes more sense?
Short trips, for sure.
The short trips.
For
You
sure.
will make more doing less miles, right? Because a long trip is just 1 fee. You're going to make 1 fee to go down and 1 fee to come back.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that, Brian. And like, I actually myself, I have a guy that I still talk to from another owner op, and all day long he's telling me he's making more money than I am when I know he's not, especially when he's running his truck 70 mile an hour down the road, and he's telling me that he's getting 8.0 MPG, and I call bullshit on that, even though it's a Volvo. I understand Volvos have different engines in them, but it doesn't compute with me when you're running 70 miles down, 25, 80 miles down the road, and you're burning that much more fuel. I was there. I was doing it. I wasn't, making fuck all.
Yeah, but Zach, your truck isn't geared for that. I got another friend of mine, okay, and this guy, he's got 264 rear ends in his truck.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means he can run 75 miles an hour at 1200 RPM. He sets the cruise control at 75 miles an hour, and he's getting fucking 8.5 miles per gallon.
So just
Okay.
But if you've got a truck that's only geared for, say, you got 355s, 350s, 370s,
Right.
once you get north of 70 miles an hour, all you're doing is pushing fuel out your stacks. You're
Right.
not, you for every half point of mile. So if you go from 8.5 down to 8, okay, that's costing you money, down from 8 down to 7.5. So if you're running at 63 miles an hour, if you're making 8.5 miles per gallon, you're making good money on your fuel. But
Right.
if you bump that up to 70 miles an hour, but now you're down to 7.5 miles per gallon, yeah, you're going to get there fucking 40 minutes sooner at the end of your day, but you're not going to you're going to lose on your fuel. If your
Right.
truck is geared and spec'd to do it, then you can drive 80 miles an hour. Guys do it all the fucking time. You think those guys, those bull haulers that blow your doors off at 85 miles an hour, you think those guys are their RPMs are running at 1900 RPM? No. Those guys got they got long legs on them. They got real low gear ratios on them, right? That's why they're able to do what they do. You got 264s or 255s or 251s or something. If you hit a hill steeper than your driveway, they're gonna bottom out, right? They're gonna be dropping gears faster than Susie's panties on Friday night. But
Yeah.
you know, with most of the time, those guys are pulling flat ground. What do they give a shit for? The speed limit's 75, 80. They're gonna do 75, 80.
Oh, space.
Yeah.
Down here in Texas, you see them going by all the time. It's been speed limits are like 85, just going down some of these smaller roads, and I see them all the time just blowing right by.
Oh yeah. You know,
Yeah.
you look in your mirror and you see a bull hauler coming and he's a mile behind you. 30 seconds later, you look again and he's a half a mile. And then 30 seconds later, you feel the wind from his truck as he goes by you and he shoves you off the fucking road. Right?
Yeah.
Hey.
You're lucky that you got your decals and your mirrors still on the truck when he goes by you.
When I used to drive down in Texas, and guys used to do that to me all the time. I used to actually look in the mirror, and I'd see them coming, and I'd just move right over onto the line just so they just give them more room. Let them go.
Oh, yeah.
Better get
Absolutely.
right out of there.
As they pass me, I just go give them the old.
Oh, dude, by the time you throw the old up to say hello, they're already a mile ahead of you. They didn't see it.
Actually, they do, because I put it up there before as they're coming up beside the trailer. That, like, as soon as they get to the back of the trailer, I'd throw that up there so they'd see it in the mirror.
I say you put it up, and by the time you got it, going back down, the back of the trailer is already right past the front of your cab.
Yeah, basically. No, like, as not like the other way around. Like, as they're coming up behind me, I'd put it up, and then as they go by me, they'd see it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? At this point now, I see them coming. I just, fuck, man. Did you get it?
No.
Holy shit. Dar's throwing darts again. Holy Christ.
That scares you every time, man.
Yeah. I every time she throws a dart, I start thinking about the insurance policy. Jeez.
I'm surprised you don't duck, Brian.
I do duck. But you got to remember those cattle guys. Those guys are run on a different time schedule than we do. Eh? That's why they run like that.
Their rules and regulations.
Yeah, they run a whole different set of rules than we do. Their logbooks are set up differently. Then they're allowed to do things that we're not allowed. Because you got to remember, they have livestock, right? It's live stock. That shit has to get where it's going as fast as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I listen to a lot.
When they go by you, man, I see them coming. I just hold the steering wheel with both hands and just wait for the, oop, okay, we're good. See you later.
Yeah, because like I listen to a lot of, like Mark Compton, Bill Weaver. I listen to all that music, and there's a lot of stuff in that music that talks about all, cattle hauling and stuff. So
there's good money in it. There is good money in it. Dar and I looked at it when we were trying to make a decision on what to do before we came back to where we're at now. We were looking at maybe moving out west, out to Alberta, and we were maybe looking at getting into something like that. It was an option that we looked at. We looked at the dollars, we looked at the cents, we looked at a lot of that. Obviously, we chose not to do it, but there is good money in it. But man, you gotta fucking hustle. You gotta hustle, and you better have your shit wired tight.
So aren't those guys paid by how much the cattle weighs too? And from what I've heard about it is that as you're going, especially if it's hot out and they're not eating, they're just losing weight on that the total weight of the load. Don't they lose money on that as well?
Well, from what I understand is they're paid by the head, right? How many go on? I'm not sure if they're paid by the weight, but I do know that depending on how many miles you have to go, like the cattle, like let's just say you're going 1,500 miles. You can't go straight 1,500 miles. You have to offload the cattle. They have to be fed and watered, so many times per X amount of miles that you have to go. And that takes time. And there are facilities set up to do that. So you need to know you have to go. Let's say you pick them up in Montana and they're going out to fucking Pittsburgh, right? You have to, between Montana Butte, Montana and Pittsburgh, they have to go so many miles, then they have to stop. They have to get off the trailer. They have to be watered. They got to be fed. Then they got to be loaded back onto the trailer and, carried on. And then you might have to do that once, maybe twice. I don't know. I didn't get that far into it. To make an informed decision, but I do know that they do have to come off the trailer and they do have to be fed and watered.
Yeah. Do you see like any money in doing like scrap metal and stuff like that in the near future, Brian?
No.
No.
Not unless you can fill your trailer with gold or silver. I like trucker gals, right? Eh? Have you ever been how many times have you been 2 miles behind a fucking a bull hauler, and you can smell him? He's up there, right? You can smell him before you even see him, and then you get up on the side of them, and you got your window down. Now, me personally, the smell doesn't bother me. I don't give a shit, right? But man, there's some of them that get ripe, right? And that's true. Those trailers got to get washed out. They're supposed to be washed out between every one, but Jesus, man, they can get really, really ripe, really rank.
One time I was in a truck stop, pulled in, parked, got out of my truck. Oh, I was cattle guy. I was like, where are you? I was looking all around. I was like, where are you?
The worst is
I could see him coming off the ramp.
The worst one is parking in a truck stop, and you get parked, and one pulls in after you, and they park beside you, eh? Because all night long, all you hear is mooing and clanging and banging, because the cattle don't just go to sleep, right? So they say there's 30 head of cattle in there, and all you hear is all fucking night long. I
had 3 of them around me one night. Two beside me and one behind me.
Okay, Rob. Okay, thanks. We got somebody here that knows. From Alberta, Ontario, they have to stop for feed and water 2 times. So from Alberta to Ontario, let's just say from Brooks, which is a big cattle facility out in Brooks. So from Brooks to say Toronto, you're about 2,100 miles? So in 2,100 miles, they got to get off and be fed and watered twice. That takes time. I don't imagine that's a 15-minute turnaround. You're not dropping a whole trailer of cattle to feed and water and then putting them back on in 15 minutes.
I was saying, I'm pretty sure there's a regulation. It's like a certain amount of time they have to be able to stop and just graze or do whatever it is that they got to do. I don't know. I don't remember what the hourly limit for that. At least that's what I had done looking it up. It's like, but I remember reading, at least for down here, it's like a certain amount of time they have to, legally speaking, be off that truck, out of that trailer, and be able to walk around and do whatever.
Right. You know what? You very well could be right. You very well.
It's 1,800.
I don't know.
1,800 miles from Alberta to here, Toronto.
Thanks, Professor. I was just going off the fucking top of my head. I was off by 200 miles. That's not bad. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not pulling them, but again, I guarantee you that you're not going from Alberta to Toronto. If you have to stop twice and get these cattle on and off, I don't think you're doing it as quickly as I would say with a reefer. So. Well, I'm just going to go. I missed a bunch of comments here. I'm just going to go up and grab some of these comments.
I remember one time when Dad and I were driving at Hyman, we pulled a cattle trailer full of parcels all the way from Toronto to Alberta.
You know what I think is funny? Okay, they're going to load a trailer full of cattle and they're going to take them from, say, whatever, from one point to the other, and they have to be offloaded and watered and fed just so they can get to their destination and get slaughtered.
Yeah, it's all about human.
You know?
Yeah.
I guess it's what, I guess as long as the animals are alive, you got to be humane with them. I guess that would be the reason. I guess I just answered my own question. I'm trying to get a comment here. What made you and Dar not want to haul cattle? I didn't want to. If we were going to make that call, Trucker, or Sheila, we were going to move to Alberta. It would have made more sense for us to make the move from Ontario to Alberta and do that because obviously in Alberta it is cattle. It's our cattle province. And we would have made more money that way than say if I lived here and hauled for a company out of Ontario. And then at the end of the day, did we want to rent our house here and buy another house there? And there was a whole bunch of other dynamics. It wasn't so much the business part of it, of hauling cattle, because I probably would have done it. I would have liked to have done it. But there was for us as a couple and as a family, there was other dynamics involved that we probably were better off right now to stay where we're at doing what we're doing. Now that's not to say in the future, right? When Dar and I decide to scale this down, we don't need a 5-bedroom house. We don't need, property. We don't need all of this. If we decide to scale it down, then yeah, we could probably do something like that and we'll do it. But right now,
somebody woke up.
Hey, that's why I'm getting them fed. Continue on though.
I know, yeah, it's all good. You know what, man? I'll be honest with you. I miss those days where Dar and I, we've got 5 kids.
I don't miss them.
5.
Oh yes, in his forehead.
So, dude, is that your first?
First.
Good luck.
Oh, your big head's in the way of my shot.
Ask Uncle Brian if you need any help.
Oh.
Hey man, don't look at me. I got 5 daughters. I don't know anything about little boys.
He can be a little handful, but
I don't know nothing about little boys. Sorry, brother. Hey, Trav, are you okay with what's his name?
Atlas.
Atlas? Beautiful. Beautiful. Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
Actually, fuck you. Not congratulations to you. Congratulations to your wife. She did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, she did. He came out 9 pounds 7 ounces.
I was in labor for 45
She was
hours.
in labor for about
holy fuck. Did I just hear her say 45 hours?
48. Yep. Well, 45 being, but 48.
It's 48 hours. You
were
were in labor for 2 days.
Centimeters after 12.
She wouldn't dilate past 5.5 centimeters at 12 hours. It was total 12 hours. So
Travis, you have nothing in life to bitch about. The next time you're going, oh, my shoulder hurts. Oh, my back hurts. Shut the fuck up. You got nothing after. If that woman was in labor for 40 plus hours, dude, unless you cut your fucking hand off, you have nothing to complain about, man.
It was definitely an interesting time being at the hospital. That is, to put it lightly.
Holy crap. My hat is off to you, Mrs. Travis. Congratulations. And wow.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. Oh, man.
Missed my forehead shot because it's not facing there anymore.
Where's your shot? Hold on. Dara wants everybody to see her shot. She hit Trudeau right in the forehead.
There you go.
I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but darts have been sailing over my head the whole time we've been talking here. It's like taking my life in my hands talking to you guys. Oh, I love that. Look at that. Northern Girls got it right there. Baby freedom trucker in training.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was making jokes to my brother-in-law. I said, he'll be in that seat, learning how to shift gears, drink beer.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're going to teach him how to drive, make sure you teach him to drive a manual first. Then he can move on to the automatic.
Hang out in the driver's seat and chill out with the autos.
Yeah.
I was reading online the other day on the ministry website for the Ontario, and I didn't even realize that if people, like the people that are doing their tests on automatics, they're getting an RAZ license instead of an AD because they restrict them to the only automatic only.
Yes.
I didn't realize they were doing that.
If you take your test on an automatic truck, then you are restricted to only driving an automatic truck, meaning that you can no longer, you can't go and get into a manual transmission.
It's the same down here in the States.
Is it?
When I went through the course, if when I went through my course, we started out on the manuals. You practiced like when you first got out on the road with but actually hauling the 53 footers. They put you in an auto, but when you actually had to test out, you had to do it on the manual.
Yeah.
And didn't. They just gave one auto restriction.
I learned on an 18. That's what I learned on.
I learned on a 13, and then my dream was 18.
I wish I never knew how to drive an 18. I would never. Every truck. Here's the funny thing, right? I learned on an 18. The second truck, the ones that I bought, right? The first truck I ever bought was a T800 Kenworth. That was a 13. The Peterbilt was a 18. The Freightliner was a 13. The Volvo was an 18. The W9 was an 18. 18s are a pain in the ass. Unless you're doing specific work that you need an 18. If you're just driving general freight, you don't need an 18-speed transmission. Right? There's no gain to it. None. A 13 is just fine. And now that I've got an automatic, I will never, ever, ever drive a manual transmission again. I hate to say it. I was one of those guys that was, you know what? I'll never drive an automatic and I don't like the way it feels and I want to have control of my... Fuck that. Now that I'm driving an automatic, I will never drive a manual transmission again for the rest of my life, ever.
Only because it can shift way better than manual ever thought it'd be in. And
Absolutely.
It'll be way better on fuel.
Absolutely. I can take an automatic transmission. My truck with an automatic, you can take two trucks of the same year. You can take, mine's a 2020 Cascadia with a 12-speed auto, or you can take a 2020 Cascadia with a 13-speed manual, and you can put them side by side, and I guarantee you that the guy driving the manual cannot shift his gears as efficiently as that automatic computer can. I've been driving manual transmissions all my life, and I can't shift gears as well or as efficiently as a computer can. The computer will beat me every time.
So that goes back to another question, or just going back to the whole truck purchasing thing. Is what would you choose at that point then? Because one of the arguments I've seen is that that auto is going to last 20 times longer than an automatic will, just in terms of, of mileage.
You mean the manual is going to last longer than the
Or, yeah.
automatic?
All right, sorry, yeah, that was backwards. The manual is going to last longer than the auto will. The auto will break down anywhere between 240 and 500,000.
Okay, well, there's two areas to that. Okay, yes, the manual, when the manual transmission shits the bed, yes, it's cheaper to fix, definitely cheaper to fix than the automatic is. Most of the automatics today, for example, I know Volvo has their iShift. Those things are warranted for 1.2 million.
Holy Jesus!
Right, 1.2 million. I won't even own the. You could buy it brand new. You won't even own the truck when the warranty on that runs out. Right. Now, if you got a truck that's out of warranty, yeah, you gotta look at that. Is it going to be cost effective? But let's just say your automatic transmission is saving you so much more money in shift and in efficiency. That's more money in the bank that when you have the repair, like Britt was saying, when you have the repair, you've got the money in the bank to fix it. That's a fine edge. Me, myself, personally, I love the automatic now. I won't ever go back. The first time I ran through Toronto at rush hour with an automatic transmission, I was in heaven. First time I went through Atlanta or Memphis or Nashville at rush hour with an automatic, dude, I was bored. Right? I was actually bored, right? But when you've got an 18 speed, your foot, you're clutching, you're whatever you're doing. I love having an automatic truck. I do. And I'll never drive another one. Every once in a while, I like to jump into somebody else's just so I can throw the gears around and keep the feel of it, but I'll never do it.
Oh, so that's what you have right now is the auto, right?
I do.
Now, I do have a question for you, Brian. With your Cascadia and your transmission, is it one of those ones that is really annoying where it runs on air and it'll sometimes lose the air pressure and you have to literally sit there?
Well, for as long
when you're
as,
backing up or something like that and you go to back into a truck stop or whatever and you're really sitting there. Because I've had that in a lot of the trucks that I've driven, like Kriska. They had my truck at Kriska. It was notorious for that, and it drove me bonkers. Because everybody's sitting there, like, beeping at you, telling you to get the hell out of the way, and it's like, I can't. My truck literally won't move.
My 21 International they put me in, it was brand new, but it wouldn't let you, if you were below, I think it was 100 PSI PSI, and you were, like, for example, in the fuel stop, I'd have to sit there and rev that thing up just to get it up to, I think it was like 120 before it would let me.
Yeah, but then you gotta ask yourself, Travis, why are you losing so much air at a fuel stop?
Well, no, it wasn't even that I was losing air. It was just I'd come in there and brake. It'd break down to like 100. I'd fuel up, and then I'd put it back in drive, and it just would not shift until it got back up to that point.
Yeah, mine's the same way. Like, for example, if I did it the other night, actually, I parked, I pulled the truck brake, but I forgot to pull the trailer brake. Right? So I had my trailer brakes, I had the red button pushed in all night long. And I guess over 10 hours, air seeped out and drained the tanks, right? So I woke up the next morning and my buzzer went off, low air. But there's a thing on my dash telling me transmission will not engage. Your air is too low. But that's the only thing. That's the only thing I've ever had with it. I've never had it do it like at a fuel. Like if I'm getting fuel, I've never had it run down like that. I've never had that issue at all.
And
that's the safety thing, I think, because that's what it would do. It wouldn't happen all the time. Like I said, while I'm sitting there waiting to get fuel, obviously the tanks would fill back up. But came to a stop, pulled my brakes, and it just happened to get below that point. Like I said, I'd have to rev it or at least just let it sit there on for maybe anywhere from. The longest it took me was like I said, it's only like 5 minutes. But you got people behind you. If the dude in front of you took you 15 just to fill both your tanks up and then get back in there and go. other guy's tapping his watch like what's what the fuck. It's just like come on, like I've got the the air in my tanks. Let's go.
Yeah. But you want to know something? Me at my age, if I have to sit there and wait 3, 4, 5 minutes for my tanks to fill. Now, again, I've never had, my tanks can be completely empty. I can start my truck with completely dead flat air tanks. 3 or 4 minutes and I'm good to go. I've never taken 5, 6, 7 minutes. My truck will fill no problem. But even if I'm at let's just say I'm at a fuel island at the J and I got to wait for those tanks to fill and there's guys behind me. Hey, I appreciate that you're in a hurry, but if I can't do anything about it, you honking your horn. Whatever. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't go run out and pull my air tanks and drain my tanks just to piss you off. So I really don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Trucker gal loves shifting. Shifting is fun. I miss it sometimes, but not really. Sheila, you're on crack. I don't miss it one bit, man. I don't miss it one bit. I'm getting so lazy now. My left leg doesn't even twitch anymore when I'm coming to. For the first while having an automatic, my left leg would still go out as if I'm looking for the clutch. I don't even bother. And my right hand, I'd be reaching for the shifter. But now it's like, no, don't miss it. Don't want it. Like I said, every once in a while, I'll jump in somebody else's and just take it for a quick rip just to keep the feel. But no, I like automatics now. I'm one of those. I'm on board. Automatic all the way.
I found like when I first went from standard to automatic, I became a double foot driver because my left foot got so bored of not being able to push a clutch in. So I said, okay, fine. I fine-tuned it to use as my brake.
Yeah. You know what? I drive my truck now like I drive my car, man. I drive it like I drive my car. It's, my right foot, my left foot's usually tapping away to the music. My right foot. But then again, I'll be honest with you. About 99% of the time I'm on cruise control. So both my feet are tapping. Right? I'm one of those guys that I cruise control everything.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything.
Even in city?
Hold on, Dar. Don't.
No, hold on.
Yeah, even in the city. No, I don't do it in the city, Zach. What do you think?
I'm just teasing you, bro. I'm teasing you.
Hold on, I got something going here. We got Tom Hall that says I should just retire and that I'm stupid and that I'm an asshole. Hey, Tom. Put the link up.
What link?
Put the link up. Dar's going to put a link up, Tom. Why don't you come on in and tell me why I'm an asshole and then tell me why I'm stupid and why I should retire. I'd welcome a conversation with you. Zach, I need you to be quiet when he comes in, if he comes in.
TikToker.
No, I don't know what he is. I don't know if he's a big talker. I don't know. But if you've got the opinion that I should shut up and I'm a dick or whatever, and that I should retire, tell me why. Tom, if you don't want to come in, that's fine. But you're making comments here. Tell me why.
Just a troll.
If he is, fine. If he's not, then whatever. But I'll give anybody on the planet the opportunity to say what they want. Tell me anything you want, but tell me why you think that way. Telling me that I'm a dick or tell me I should retire, that doesn't say anything. What are you talking to hear yourself speak? I don't think Tom's going to do it. Look at this. I don't have to say nothing. Everybody else is covering this for me. Here we go. So we all think of Tom.
That's what I was just thinking too. Dar just said.
What did Dar just say?
Oh, I just
Oh, he doesn't have the guts or the balls. Yeah. Mr. Bees, you're absolutely right. Dead air. Okay. Well, looks like Robin was ready to come in. We were going to poke him and let him come in.
Hey Brian, they're all fierce behind the mic, but when it comes to jumping out and doing face to face, they get a little less brave.
I got no problem. You want to be a keyboard warrior. I got no problem. You want to be a radio Rambo, but back it up.
Yeah.
Back it up, man.
Yeah.
You know what? Back it up. I got no issue with anybody. Just back it up. You know? Looks like old Tommy Boy ain't going to play, so. Oh, well.
You're probably looking forward to having a good conversation, weren't you, Brian?
Well, I was looking for somebody that, you know, I didn't get any of the guys from the TikTokers over. None of them decided to come play.
Where is that? Is that on YouTube as well? That whole shenanigan, or is that on TikTok?
It's over on TikTok.
Okay, I don't use TikTok, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Bees, yeah, I closed out the week. I did okay. I got almost 2,700. Almost 27. I was like 26 and change. All I did is I went from like Cornwall out to Liberty, out to Topeka, and back to Cornwall. So
okay,
I did about 2660, 2670, something like that. And for me, that's fine. That's fine. That's a profitable week for me. That's pretty good. I can do well on that. I really can. I don't need to kill myself to make, you know, I don't need 3,000, 3,500 miles. You know, my last few weeks with ET, dude, I was doing 4,100 miles a week. I was killing myself.
How did you run that one? How did you run back coming back from Topeka? Did you go up, did you go 70 over to US whatever, up to 72 and up to 55?
No, I took 70 all the way across to Indianapolis, then went around to Indy over to Fort Wayne, then Fort Wayne up into Toledo.
If next time you go down there, try going 70, and then I think it's US 92, and it takes your speed up to, it comes out on the 72, I think, and then you take 72 straight over to 55 and 55 straight up.
Yeah, but if I take 55 straight up, I got to go through Chicago on the 90 or on the 94. I do it my way. I take the bypass, or I take the 469 around, or the 464, so whatever around Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Right, and then I grab the 69 over to Fort Wayne, take the bypass around Fort Wayne, then take the 24 over to Toledo, and then it's only 60 miles from Toledo up to Detroit. I was crossing at Detroit.
Okay, because when I came back, I crossed at Sarnia, so.
Yeah, no, I crossed at Detroit. I was trying to get back into Canada to get my 2 hours. Right?
Because like I was doing the same thing, but I went across Sarnia, and when I was sitting down in Liberty, I actually put it in Google, and it showed me to go across Sarnia
Thanks, Rob.
instead of Detroit. Because it was taking me up on that US 92, and the miles are actually shorter than going through the way you go, because that was the way I used to go.
Yeah, your route is, I think, 40 miles shorter. Mine is an hour and 45 minutes faster. I don't have traffic to deal with. I got nothing. I'm straight run all the way around.
Yeah. Rob C out there. 465 around Indy, do you go west or do you go on the east?
No, you go east.
I always go on the west. I find it less busy going west.
Good night,
Because
fair
you're going
lady.
to
You have a
gains
good night.
traffic instead of with traffic.
What would you say the average miles you were doing there, Brian? Normally a week now.
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm about 26, 27. I'm only 3 weeks into this new job. First week I did 32. Last week I did 27 and change, and this week I did 26 and change. So if you average it out, I'm probably about 2,700 miles a week. And I'm good with that. I am absolutely good with that. I make money at that. I make really good money at 2,700 miles. Yeah, DAR's actually coming out for the last 2 weeks of August. Yeah, the last 2 weeks of August, DAR's going to come out on the road with me. We're gonna be doing a lot of filming, and we're gonna be doing a lot of hanging out, and we're probably gonna be doing lives from the road. Yeah, Rob, but like I said, for the setup that I have right now, with the way that we're paid, the way that this company pays us, and with the fuel surcharge, and the way that I operate my business, 2,600 miles. I could even say like 2,500 miles. I'd like to be north of that, but if I was averaging 2,500 miles a week, I'm still profitable. I don't mean that I'm paying my bills and I'm putting $10 in the bank at the end. I mean, like I'm actually making money on 25. Anything north of 25, 26, 27, 3,000 miles, I'm very, very happy with. I'm good. Yeah, 27 is enough. You're right. Yeah, Duncan, I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the last 3 weeks, I've been a whole lot less stressed. There's a whole lot less, I'm not as antsy. I'm not parking my truck on Friday, and I get out of the truck and I walk in the front door and I'm already thinking about having to go to work on Monday or Sunday. I'm not doing that anymore right now. I'm just very much I can't talk. I'm less stressed is what I'm just trying to say. I'm in a better spot.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, man.
Do you still park your truck at the house, or do you park at the yard and drive your car home? I'm just wondering.
I bring my truck home.
Okay. Because I just wondered if if you were gonna spend the money driving the truck in diesel, or if you'd rather spend it in gas.
No, they usually the company's good enough to give me a load to go home with.
Okay.
So I don't drive the truck home and then drive it back to the yard. When I pull in on Friday, they give me a load for Monday, and I take it home, and then I can leave from the house from wherever I'm going.
Okay, so you can actually get right into your house with full truck and trailer.
Well, I don't leave my truck in the yard because if I do, somebody will toilet paper it.
Okay.
Did you hear about that? Somebody toilet papered Jeremy and Sean's truck, so I'm not about to leave my truck in the yard for you animals to start. For any of you guys are going to wrap it in toilet paper. Forget it.
Well, I can tell you right now, if anybody does that, they're going to have to, I'll be telling them to clean it off. I won't be doing it.
Well, you better find out who did it first.
Yeah, I was just say, but you gotta figure out who it was first. Put some cameras around it.
I park right on the corner of the building, right where the camera is.
You know what? I've had my truck toilet papered by a guy before. It's all fun. It's all fair. It's fair game. It's fun. Toilet papering a truck. You're not going to scratch my truck. You're not going to damage my truck. You're not going to do anything to it. If all you're doing is wrapping it in toilet paper, and it makes it a pain in the ass for me to clean it off. All right, you got me. You know,
What if they shit on it though?
It's all fun and games. It's just
They
fun
shit
and
on
games.
it
That's
first
all it
though,
is.
Brian.
Well, paper
Hey?
all used.
I said, what if they shit on it first?
That's a different story. But if you're pooping out enough shit that you can dirty up an entire roll of fucking Bounty toilet paper or whatever that is, man, you got bigger problems than toilet paper.
You're doubting the. There's a lot of guys out there who'll take that challenge up.
No, not with me. No thanks. I'm talking about the fun and games. You know, you take a couple rolls of toilet paper, you wrap a guy's truck in it. There's no harm, no foul in that, man. I got no problem if I've parked my truck in a truck stop, and another driver from the same company saw my truck while I was sleeping, and while I was in the fucking truck, sound asleep, I woke up the next morning, I pulled my curtain, and I was like a mummy. The truck was completely wrapped. It's like, and of course, you got to get out and you got to do that walk of shame, right? Because there's 60 other drivers all standing there laughing their asses off at you. But hey, it's all good. There's all good. Now I wake up and there's toilet paper with shit on it. I find out who's doing that, man. You're gonna have a serious fucking problem on your hands.
You see, if I'm gonna play a joke of some sort, it'd be a roll of toilet paper with a zip tie on it with a nice little note and a Coke or Pepsi beside it.
Yeah, yeah. Like the funny ones to do is like in the winter, right? Now this is real dirty, but it's funny as hell. You wrap the guy's truck in toilet paper in the winter, and then say you get a light snow or like a little bit of mist or some sleet, and then it freezes. Right, so the toilet paper freezes. You wrap the guy's truck in like $20 worth of toilet paper, and then it freezes, cock stiff solid. Oh my god, it's a pain. I've had it done to me. It's a pain in the ass, but it's funny as hell.
Get the torch out and light it up very softly to melt it.
The only thing you can do is you can cut out your windshield so you can see, and you got to take it over to the beacon and get it washed off, right? Because if you start scraping it, you're going to start ripping the paint off, right? So
then you got a bigger.
It's all fair. It's all fair, and it's all fun and games, man. I got no problem if my truck gets toilet papered. What can you do? You just, you but if you're going to get me, remember, I'm coming for you. Right? So you better be able to take it. So
if you can dish it, you can take it.
You better be able to. Well, guys, I think we're going to call this a night. I think we've had enough.
Well, I appreciate all the information, y'all. It was a good one. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. No problem. You know where we're at. If you got anything or I can help you, like throw something into my email.
Wheelburnerexpress@gmail.com.
Wheelburnerexpress@gmail.com. I don't even know my own fucking email. But you know what? Trav, throw down there. You know what? Dar goes through it usually twice a day, and I poke in once in a while. And if there's anything that's of any importance or anything, if we see anything, I'll get back to you. If I can help you out or anything you need, just let me know.
I appreciate it, Mossman.
And Travis, if you want, you can always ask Lean through Brian's email for my email. They have my email too. So if you want more than one email to contact, you can get my email through them too.
I appreciate
it. All right, guys.
I do.
We'll see you later. Rob, thanks for all your help and your talking. Everybody, have a great night. Sheila, we'll see you down the road. Be safe. Curtis, we'll talk to you later.
Have a night, everybody.
Good in North Carolina, boys.
Hey, y'all have a good rest of your weekend, all right?
All right, man. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right.